Hey everyone, this is Daniel.
And I'm Jun.
And we are
Korean American. Hello, everyone.
Jun,
Yeah,
you're outnumbered today.
I know.
I brought some American friends.
3 to
Not
1.
friends, but
Now friends.
We
Fast
are
friends,
friends.
yeah.
We are friends. Yeah.
Americans become friends quickly.
That's
for
true.
Sure. Different than Koreans.
It's technically the Korean American podcast. Yes.
Yeah.
Before we get into it, Jun, do you actually consider me a friend yet?
Well, why do you even ask?
Koreans are so closed off with their social circles.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course we're friends.
Okay. Because we never hang out with other, we don't have mutuals, right, between us. So I don't know.
We do. The poker gang.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we sometimes play poker
Do you
here.
consider them friends?
Acquaintances.
Oh, interesting.
But Daniel special.
Validated.
Wait, but haven't
Okay.
you guys been friends for like 20 years?
No.
No.
Like
It's like
2, 3.
Oh,
3 years.
okay.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
We'll get into it.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, for our audience, we have 2 guests today. So in line with one of our 2025 goals for the podcast, having more guests, so you guys stop hearing the same takes from Jun and I. Also, so we have to just come up with less things to talk about. But yeah, this is the first time we're actually inviting guests that we didn't know beforehand. Neither Jun or I knew our guest today, but I'll get into the story of how we even got connected with you later. But before you do, why don't you guys give us a bit of a way of an intro? Highlighting maybe your cultural resume, we call it. Like, what are the cultural influences that have made you who you are today?
I love that cultural resume. My name is Janice Jeong. And I know I said American in the intro, but I feel like I resonate with both Korean and American. I was born in Korea and I moved to America at 3 years old. And I was able to kind of like maintain like my Korean because I spoke a lot of Korean to my parents. They still don't know a lot of English. They're not fluent in English, even though we've lived there for 30 or 27 years now. And so, mainly use Korean with them. And then I also loved Korean entertainment and media. And so, naturally, I kind of gravitated towards friends who liked that stuff too. And so we, to this day, we're always speaking Korean and English Konglish, mixing it up. And so, but then I've always had kind of like an identity crisis because I feel like when I'm with my super American friends, like even David, he's much more American than I am. He'll say I'm super Korean. And then I'll hang out with, my Korean cousins here in Korea and they're saying, oh, you're Kyopo, you're American. And then there's also the thing where people say I have a Korean accent when I speak English. And then I have an English accent when I speak Korean. And so I'm like, where do I belong?
Yeah.
So Korean American, I'm like half. So that's my cultural resume. But other than that, I'm really excited to be here on the Korean American podcast.
It's a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, it's my first time being a guest on a podcast. And actually, like Daniel mentioned, I never met Daniel and Jun before. So actually, to be honest, I was very nervous at first. Well, actually, no. When they first reached out, I was like, okay, let's do it. Because I was in a kind of like a high of wanting to make content and collab and stuff like that. And this was going to be my first collaboration. So I was like, okay, yes, let's do it. Without thinking, I was just like, I don't even know where Pangyo is. I'm going. And then the more I thought about it, at night, I was just falling asleep. And recently, I've been watching a lot of true crime. I love true crime. It's so scary, but I don't know, something about it is so fascinating to me. I can't stop watching.
Wait, Korean or American?
So more American, but then once we got to Korea, we started watching, because in Netflix, there's so many more movies than America. The Netflix, catalog is way better. And so we started watching a lot of Korean true crime.
True crime stories, like what?
So I recently rewatched, what's it called? 살인의 추억?
살인의 추억.
Memories of a Murder. You've never seen it. It's such a good movie. You have to watch it.
Oh, movie. I can do movie.
Yeah, it's a movie. It's Bong Joon-ho movie. The Parasite director. You know
You don't
Parasite?
know.
What?
Wait, say the name again?
Bong Joon-ho. Well, it's the Parasite director.
Okay, he's famous.
Yeah, the famous Parasite director.
Everyone was like, what?
You watched Parasite?
Yeah.
The director of that movie.
Korean names, I just don't
No,
see.
for sure. He's very famous, but that movie is so good.
That's my my favorite out of all of his movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Wait, which one was that?
That's the one where we watched it and I ruined
Actually, some
Oh, yes,
the
that was
Discord
good.
members asked
Suggested
us
we
to
review it.
that.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay. Maybe we will.
It's a good one.
It's a
Yeah.
great one. And that's based off of true,
Yes.
story. And then after that, we watched 추격자, which is another
Yeah.
kind of serial killer movie.
Oh my God.
So anyways, I watched those movies.
Wait, but these are like classic films.
Classic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Based
Both-
on true.
Yeah, both based on true
serial
crime,
killers. Yeah. And so I watched those movies recently, and then as I was falling asleep, I was like, wait a second. It's two guys that invited me on a podcast. I have no idea who they are.
We're meeting in June's apartment.
Yeah,
right? Okay,
exactly.
it's not a
We're
neutral-
meeting at this person's apartment. I think it hit me when like you sent me the instructions to get to the apartment. And it was so like the instructions were so like it's formally typed out.
luring in the victims.
So I was like, oh, 이 뭐지? I was like, oh, I'm a little scared. And so I immediately messaged Daniel the next morning, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be like too, I didn't want to like ruin any plans for you guys. So I tried to say ASAP, like in the morning, first thing in the morning. And I was like, hey, Daniel, I don't know exactly what I said, but I was
Yeah.
like, I just feel a little nervous. I don't think, I don't think I can make it.
Yeah. No, I knew it because what you gave like kind of a weird excuse. I was like, oh, is she like trying to, whatever?
Flake? Yeah.
Or is she actually concerned?
Uh-huh.
And so anyway, glad it ended up working.
Yeah. And so I brought my husband.
I'm the backup bodyguard.
yeah.
But meeting Daniel and June, like they're great, and like we're having a great time so far. Even over lunch, we had some good conversations. So I'm really glad that we came. So thank you for inviting us.
Thank you for coming.
Glad you guys are here.
Yeah.
My turn?
Your intro.
All right. Yeah. My name is David Jeong. I grew up American. When people would ask me or call me Korean American, I would say, no, I'm American Korean.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I think it started with the food actually, because I grew up in a big family of 6. And so when my mom would cook, she had to make huge batches that we ate throughout the week. Usually, stews, kimchi jjigae, stuff like that. And I just hated eating the same thing every day. So I think it started with the food. I didn't like the food because of that.
Korean food?
Yeah, Korean food.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of anti-Korean culture and stuff.
Yeah.
So I grew up, my parents spoke to me in Korean. I responded in English.
Wow.
That's
You
how
still
it was.
do?
I still do, yeah. That's how it was for all of us. So I would say I was like that until I started dating her because she's Korean.
See? He says I'm
Whoa.
Korean.
Yeah, I think
Korean.
she's very Korean.
Korean American.
It's like when I hang out with her friends, they're all speaking mixed Konglish. My friends, it's 100% English. Nobody uses any Korean phrases.
That's how I grew up. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
I think my theory is like men, I feel like the language part of their brain is a little bit weaker.
Hold up.
So that's why I think like all of him and all his guy friends, that's why they only speak English.
Oh, I
'Cause-
believe that too.
Yeah.
You think
Wait.
women are better at language?
Like I don't know if this is a fact, but I heard that babies, like girl babies, they tend to speak earlier than the boy babies.
That I agree with.
Isn't
But the
that-
language-
doesn't that have to do with language? They have like the language thing.
She is
Okay,
better
okay.
than me with picking up language.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm better than you at Spanish though.
Same with 사투리, because I
Okay.
came from Daegu.
Yeah.
And like if I see my Daegu friends, like all my female friends, they like switch to Seoul accent.
Oh.
Whereas like the guys, they don't.
They
don't.
struggle?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
That's
Alright.
my argument.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, maybe it's that. But like some things also, miyeokguk on the birthday, I used to hate that.
Oh, yeah.
I would always ask for something else. New Year's,
Tteokguk,
tteokguk,
yeah.
I would bring my own sandwich because
You're
I
such
didn't want it. I
you're
really
so annoying.
hated it.
That is pretty extreme. Yeah.
Yeah, I
it's not
hated
like-
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my cultural resume.
okay.
I was way more American and like Mexican than Korean.
Okay.
Yeah, it was only in the past 5 years or so where I really started to embrace my Korean side. Now I love all the stews, all the traditions and stuff,
yeah.
but it took me a long time.
Wait,
Growing
more-
up, I think most Koreans were more like Korean and black, somewhere in between. Yeah, I guess you grew up in SoCal, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
More Mexican influence.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna ask like why Mexican?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's SoCal.
Yeah, he loves Mexican food.
Yeah, the food. I
Yeah.
love the food.
But also David had kind of like a angry childhood. So he always tried to, go against, the family or, if everyone's eating tteokguk, you could just eat tteokguk. But like the fact that you brought your own sandwich is so your style. Like
And then
you would
out of
do that.
everything, a sandwich is like
The most American thing.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of sibling theory?
No,
Stuff like
what's
that.
that?
I mean, middle children typically are a little more like black sheep. They do their own thing, typically out of neglect.
Yeah.
So I can say that as a parent of 4. Yeah.
That's me.
But wait, Janice, I want to read the actual message you said with a new eye. Now that I know the context.
Yeah. Honestly,
I just want to make it clear. I was there while she was sending that message, shaking my head that she was trying to flake. I just want to say.
No, it goes, hey Daniel, I'm so sorry, but I thought about it more. But I feel like I'm not ready yet to go on the podcast. Ha 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 ha. Which I now know is a nervous laughter, not like a casual, friendly laughter. It's like, oh, you guys are gonna kill me. I was listening to your guys' episodes, and it's so much more polished and professional than our vibe. So I feel really nervous. Not nervous about the vibe. Nervous for her life. I think it would be better if either my husband or co-host could join, but my husband is unavailable in the morning for golf lessons. I'm so sorry. I hope you didn't prepare too much yet.
Wow.
Anyway, after I received that, I was like, June, we just got Gen Z'd. we got straight up like ghosted at the last minute.
Yeah, I will say LA people are much more like flaky. Yeah, so it's a common thing. But I was scared for my life. But I'm glad that we came. It's so funny.
Yeah. So the story of how we even got connected, one of my good friends from the Bay Area, she's like a super fan and consumer of any like Asian content. So I don't know. We might cut out the name I'll ask, but Jan is one of our good friends, listeners for our pod, and she also follows you guys. I don't think did you guys talk about your podcast yet?
No, not yet.
Okay, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
But she was like, hey, like the HoneyJam guys are, the couple is in Korea. Like you guys got to do a collab. Like it'll be so fun.
Wow.
And so I think she independently messaged both of us. She gave you our email. So I was waiting for your email.
Yeah.
Never came.
I was a little shy about it. I was thinking about it.
Okay. But I decided to just reach out because, again, we've been trying to have more guests on. So, that's the origin story. Thank you, Jan, for making
Shout
it happen.
out, Jan, Jan and Jan.
Jan.
Oh, yeah. Also, funny with names. My sister's name is literally Janice, and my brother's name is literally David.
That's so funny.
I don't know why. It's such a common
Janice
combo.
and David.
Yeah.
You know what's the best one, though?
Wait. His sister's
Grace?
also name is Janice.
Oh, no way.
His sister. But then what's even better is
Wait, what?
you can say it.
You just ruined my story.
Okay,
Flo.
sorry.
All right, share it later. But
No, I'll share. But basically, well, there's a lot of Janice and Davids that we know. I have like a cousin whose cousin and husband are also Janice and David. But the best one is her ex. Her ex's parents' names are Janice and David. So I was like, yeah.
Well, if you guys ever have kids, just name him Daniel. We'll be good. But yeah, okay.
Well, prior to meeting you guys today, I actually stumbled upon David's Instagram account where he does
crazy.
we're going to talk about this later, but he does like these like super interesting, can I call it food experiments?
Yeah.
He like dries Korean like kimchi jjigae like freeze dry, and then like he puts it into like these little containers so that you can eat it in like mountains and like as like what is it, camping meals I would call MRE you said. I thought this was like so interesting and the way that you do it. So I knew you guys before prior to our meeting today, and then I like went into a rabbit hole a little bit. I saw you, Janice, and I learned that you do a podcast, and I don't know if you remember, but I sent you your podcast URL. I was like, oh, these guys are doing like similar things as we do, and then now we're here today.
Yeah, collaboration.
I don't doubt that you sent it to me.
Yeah.
But if you know me, I don't care. I think a part of me doesn't want to consume other content because I don't ever want to like repeat or be influenced. I just want to be authentic.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, whatever. It's like,
I
really, if you did send it to me, I didn't click through or look at it.
Yeah.
But it worked out. Yeah, you're here, and so
Just a sidebar a little bit. It's funny that you got his content because like you're in Korea, right?
Yeah.
Like, and his audience is mainly what is it?
Well, it was Korea. Seoul was #1 for a while, actually. Like percentage of followers.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think because my first like viral video or whatever was my kimchi jjigae dehydrated one.
That's the one that
That's the video. Actually, it's funny because a few other like handles reached out and asked David if they can repost the same video on their handle.
Yeah.
And one of the handles that asked is, it's a big handle in Korea. It's called Daily Fashion News, Daepinyu. And it's basically just a handle for mainly like entertainment, like celebrities and fashion. But then it's so random that they asked him
for food.
Yeah,
like,
for food, like
Yeah.
dehydrated content.
Yeah.
But basically it blew up on their channel, on their handle. It got like
really?
close to like
Got
3
more views than
million.
on my page.
Yeah, so I feel like because of that page, it got kind of like shared out to people who live in Korea.
Oh, I see.
Maybe that's
so.
it, because we always talk about my Instagram feed, Explore. There's no Korean content. It's like basketball, like all these American things.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, you guys, or Janice, you have a pod with another co-host, and yeah, why don't you just tell us about it, the origin story?
Yeah, I have a podcast with my best friend. It's called the HoneyJam podcast.
I love the name.
People are like, some people don't know what it means.
Yeah.
I absolutely don't
No
know.
worries.
Is
No
this,
worries.
is this a Korean reference?
It is.
Yes.
So it literally
No.
translates. Yeah, it literally translates to 꿀잼.
Okay.
꿀잼 is basically, it means like it's like super entertaining and fun. Like
Yeah.
꿀잼. And like 노잼 is like not fun.
Oh, that I know. No gem. I know
Yeah.
no gem.
Yeah, you know 노잼,
So
right?
the opposite of 노잼 is 꿀잼.
That I know.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
okay.
so we thought really hard about the name. And I don't know, just HoneyJam kind of came up because we always say 꿀잼.
Yeah.
And then like the English translation is kind of cute too.
Yeah.
HoneyJam.
It never registered to me
Really?
before I saw your title. Oh, jam is actually jam.
Yeah, so HoneyJam. And like my friend and I, we ever since like college, like we met in college and became best friends. Since then, we've always had, I mean, just like everyone out there who wants to start a podcast, you know, they're like, our conversations are so fun. We should start a podcast. You know, everybody says that.
Yeah.
And so, like, you know, we talked about it for so many years, and finally, you know, I decided to do it last year. And we could talk about it a little bit later too, but basically we're David and I kind of like have been going through this long fertility journey. And for a while, like I felt like my life was kind of like on pause. And, you know, I have a 9 to 5, but then after, like my job was really chill. And so, you know, after work, it's just like watching Netflix, going on YouTube. It's the same thing every single day. And I just kind of got bored. And it was to the point where I realized like when David was really busy at work, like he'd be working until like 10 o'clock sometimes. I'm just like waiting for him to finish work. And I would just be, you know, sitting alone, and I would get so bored and sad almost like, hey, how come like you don't care for me? I would say, ask him these kind of questions. I don't know if you have any thoughts on that.
So really,
Yeah.
David was like, you got to get something for your
Exactly.
life.
That's exactly how it started.
That's exactly how it happened.
She sat me down and she started crying, and she was like, "Do you love me?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I said, okay, well, you either need to find a new job or you need
Yeah.
to find a hobby.
Yeah.
Right? We have this thing because I've been wanting her to find a new job for a while because they don't promote and whatever. But immediately the tears just went in, and she was like, oh, never mind. I'm good. I'm going to find something. It's just,
Because the moment he
Leave me
says
alone.
find a new job, I'm like, I do not want to find a new job. Like I'm very comfortable with my job. And so I was like, okay, you're right. I should find a hobby because I'm just sick, you know, like watching movies and stuff, it gets old. And so that's when I was like, okay, we're finally gonna pursue this podcast.
she's been
And-
wanting to do a podcast for many, many years. Though.
Yeah.
Like even before college, maybe?
Maybe.
She would do voice notes on her phone
Yeah.
and do fun things with her friends, but she never actually
Yeah, I would
made it into a
interview
pod.
people on my iPhone,
Yeah.
just like
Yeah.
as voice notes for fun.
Oh, crazy.
And so I think we finally just decided to do it. It's hard. It's a lot of work, as you guys know, especially if you already have a job. But it's still a lot of fun. I was telling them that, like, you know, I love making the reels because if they do well, I just get so like motivated and boosted by like the, you know, the numbers that go up.
Yeah.
And so that's how I've been living these days, just
What do
living
you-
off the high.
What do you talk about?
Oh yes, on our podcast, it's just me and Jessica, my best friend co-host. We just talk about like our lives, like if anyone cares, and then we talk about like a lot of Korean show like recaps. Like so, we were obsessed with Sunja Upgotiyo, which is Lovely Runner, which you guys talked about.
Yeah.
One of my favorite dramas of all time. Yeah, I love the main actor.
Yeah. Because of the actor, not the quality of the show.
No, the quality of the show is amazing. Their chemistry, anyways.
Kemi?
Yeah, Kemi.
First 12 episodes were amazing.
Yeah.
It fell off
You
a bit.
liked it?
Oh, I really liked it.
Oh, I
What?
see.
I loved it But anyway,
Yeah,
I have a lot of thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you loved it because this guy
you have
refuses to
You have
watch
to
it.
tell her about the 작가님 story.
Oh yeah, later.
Yeah.
But there was a live. The cast of they had a live showing in Seoul. No, I didn't go. No.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I want to go, but I can't tell my wife I want to go. It's like you're gonna leave me home with the kids to watch what together?
Oh yeah.
But anyway, it was almost impossible to get tickets anyway.
Yeah.
But I don't think they expected it to be popular. But towards the end, it was super popular.
Right.
I think after episode 15 and 16 released, they had a live viewing and Q&A after with the cast
Oh
in
my
Seoul.
gosh.
Yeah, I was like, I have to go, but I can't. I have to go. Anyway, I didn't even try, but I couldn't have gone even if I wanted to.
Still.
And you told me that they particularly had more appeal for the American international audience. Because I don't think it was so much of hype in Korea, though.
Really?
As it was in...
It was so hyped, I think. I read the K-drama subreddit a lot. So it was so popular. Everyone was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I was this invested, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. But anyway, I won't share my full thoughts on it.
You sure you're not Korean?
So I only watched the first episode just because we had to review it.
Yeah.
Because Daniel was keep on saying we have to do this because it's like blowing up on the international Reddit or whatever.
So popular.
I just watched the first episode. To begin with, I don't watch a lot of K-dramas, but then this one in particular. Do you know what 항마력 means?
No. What's that?
So it's like a gaming term in Korea. Like 항마력 is like your defense, like for like magic, magic defense power. It's like there's like so much cringe that you can't like just take it. Like you say like 항마력 달려.
That's so funny.
I have,
You need that shield.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
But it was just too stereotypical,
It was just
cheesy,
too
corny.
cringe. Yeah.
But that's the thing. I always tell my friends, right? Like, because I try to convince so many people to watch this show.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry that this conversation is steering again to Lovely Runner because that's literally all we talk about on HoneyJam. But I always say, like, you have to get to episode 3 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you watch the first episode, you're like, oh my God, this is trash.
Unbelievable. Like,
This
it's
is
too unrealistic.
This is so childish. I hate this drama.
Yeah.
And then you get to episode 3, you're like, oh, I get the appeal. But anyways.
Do you watch it?
No, I had the same experience as you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I tried.
I sat him down. I forced him to watch it. He's like, I can't watch this anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, okay, I remember talking about this when we did the recording on it.
Yeah.
The reason why I liked that in a bit is for me it was like a palate refresher because I think K-dramas for the past few years they know the tropes, they know the stereotypes, so they've been trying to like steer clear of it and not fall into like the blah 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 whatever you called it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But this one was so refreshing. Like, no, we're unabashed about how like stereotypically stupid or unbelievable we're gonna be.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, okay, they're at least they're honest about it.
Yes.
Right? They're not like shying away or trying to like.
So you love the honesty.
I love the authenticity of like, hey, this is what we are. Like, we're a complete fantasy.
Yep.
Like, okay, and this is my main gripe over it. The male lead that you so love,
Yeah. 변우석?
he's unbelievable. He's just a one-dimensional. If he were a female, you would be like, she's just there for the like main
looks?
character to like progress his plot or whatever. The female version is called a Mary Sue. Right? I forgot the Mary. There's like a equivalent version of that, but it's a male character who literally has no character on his own. He's just there for the female lead.
I see.
That's
So
true.
he's so. Anyway, that's why I don't like it that much.
But that's why I think the women like
Love
it so
it, yeah,
much
yeah.
because it's like he only has eyes. There's no like love triangle or whatever. It's just he loves this woman and he's pursuing her.
he has
And only her.
100% this like fantasy unicorn of a man.
For sure.
That they don't even shy away.
Yeah.
Like there's no even hints of a flaw. He's like that perfect. And I guess that's why women might like him.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm like, come on, this is so like dumb. I don't know, it's like teenage girl fantasy.
But you watch the whole thing.
I hate watch the last 3 episodes.
You watched.
The last one was okay. I did finish. Yeah, I was too invested at that point.
No, I'm proud of you. I don't know a single man who watched the whole thing. So
My thing is like if it's around episode 8 or 9, I got to watch like I'm only halfway there. I'll quit. I'll drop it. But if I get past like 12, I'm like, I'll just hate
You have
watch
to
the
finish
rest
it.
of it.
Yeah.
So why not? Yeah.
I love that hate watch.
I like the female lead though.
Oh yeah, she's good.
I recognize her from Sky,
Sky
Castle.
Castle.
Yeah. She's good.
Which I started to
Her
watch.
acting is amazing.
yeah, she's really good.
Yeah.
But anyways, we talk a lot about Korean dramas on our HoneyJam podcast, but we also talk about like different shows, whatever like is interesting to us. I think like whatever, because like when I get into something, I get really passionate about it, and I could just like go on and on about it. For example, like I was really into the show called Produce 101, which is like basically they cast like 100 boys, and they're trying to make a band, like an idol group.
Yeah.
I was really obsessed with this one guy named Kang Daniel.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
became like a star. But there was a time when I was really obsessed with that, so I did like recap videos on that. So things like whatever like interests me, I think we just bring it up on HoneyJam. Try to keep everyone entertained.
If you watch Produce 101, then I think you're Korean.
That's what I'm saying.
We can drop the American. All right.
I can't even imagine Korean Americans watching that show.
You'd be
That's
surprised. A lot of people watched it.
Do you have a
Really?
TV
Yeah, but your
subscription?
friends.
Yeah, my friends. Not TV.
How do you watch it?
Just like on illegal
Oh,
sites.
okay. Pirate.
Yeah. Good old pirate sites.
Some of your parents have some.
But they didn't have like we have in America, we have, TV, or what's it called? Yeah, TV bio or like something, but like that's a little bit more official.
okay.
But like these show programs aren't on those sites because it's so niche.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, HoneyJam podcast, check it out. But
Yeah, we'll plug it in the show
thank
notes.
you.
And
Thank you so much.
I think if you tell us what your most popular reels is, maybe we'll reshare from ours too.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah.
Break
yeah.
into the Korean audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
you.
yeah, just to wrap up by way of intros, we always ask our guests to place themselves on the Korean American spectrum. One being very Korean. What do we say again?
I don't know, like your typical Korean a저씨.
Uh-huh.
Typical classic Korean ajashi. 10 being very, very American.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, that type. So like, where are you on that spectrum?
I'm probably an 8.5.
More
8.5.
American?
Yeah, way more.
Is Daniel all-time high?
No,
For-
I'm
for our guests.
for our guests.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you might be the most
Wow.
8.5.
self-identifying American.
yeah.
I feel like, were you one of those Koreans that like would be like, oh, Koreans suck? Because you know how there's always that like one Korean dude who thinks like he's like a better.
He already was. He brought a sandwich to New Year's instead of Myeokguk. Like, come on.
But now you're proud to be
Yeah,
Korean.
yeah. I didn't know back then. I was
okay.
young.
Yes, when you were young.
Yeah.
So, okay, even today though, would you put yourself at 8.5?
I guess maybe it's like 7.5 now, but I'm still like way more American.
Yeah.
If I'm a 7.5, I think you're more American. I put you at 8.
Oh.
Okay. All right.
Wait, you think you're more American than Daniel?
I don't know. He lives here, so.
Oh, that's true.
Exactly.
That's
yeah,
true.
Yeah. But even the way,
No,
What?
say it.
even the way you say like whatever, like it's like a white person.
Yeah.
But I will say he's been more proactive about like, getting in touch with his roots. Like he downloaded an app to learn more Korean. Like it's like a flashcard app where it helps you kind of memorize better. And so I'm very proud of him. I would place myself like a little like start in the middle, but then
Okay.
move a little bit towards the Korean.
So starting at 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, is
come
that
on.
5?
10 divided by
I
2
didn't know it was
is
a number.
5.
I thought it was
This is one thing she's very not Korean in, because Koreans are good at math.
I didn't hear the number. I
Five's
think,
the middle.
I think that was a numeric scale. I thought it was Trump to
Okay, let's try that again.
Korean ajashi. Okay, let's start at 5. And
You
then
didn't know
what's
it was numeric, even though I gave a number,
Exactly.
and then Daniel gave his number, and then another number.
Sorry. Our joke is I'm really weak with simple math.
Okay.
Numbers.
It's not a
numbers.
joke.
It's not math.
It's a
simple.
problem.
I mean,
Actually, one of Janice's most recent reels, we could ask them live.
well,
Oh, okay.
It's so in what's it called? Singles Inferno. Do you guys watch it?
I know what that is.
Of
though.
course we know.
So there's a part where this artist
Season
is
4.
describing, the artist is describing the size of his canvases, and he said, "Oh, it's about 7 meters."
Okay.
And the girl, she's sitting across from on a table, and she's like, "Oh, so like about this size on the table."
I'm laughing too hard.
Okay, that was my reaction too. So then we paused it, and then we were watching with my friend Jay, and we were like, "Okay, Janice, we live in America, so let's do yards.
Yeah.
How many feet are in a yard?"
Yeah.
What'd you say?
And I said 12.
Oh my god.
But do you
Honestly,
guys
I don't
know?
know.
I'm
yeah,
curious.
no,
I don't
Koreans
know.
won't know
Of
the yard.
course. What? Yeah. Wait,
Well-
that 12 inches to a foot, 3 feet in a yard.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
3 feet
okay.
in a
Oh, I
yard.
Yeah.
did not know that.
Yeah.
39 point whatever inches to a meter.
I mean,
Yeah.
I understand. Yours
Okay, yeah,
understandable.
you get a pass.
Yeah.
You get a pass. But she, born and raised, or not born, but raised
Basically
in America.
born.
Yeah.
So,
So we went down the line calling all her friends. Most of them didn't know,
Oh my
actually.
god.
That's what I said.
Oh, I know what it. You know what it is?
It's football.
Yeah, you took my line. Yeah. Like, I think the only time you use yards in day-to-day life in
Yeah.
America is football.
Yes.
And if you
Football,
girls,
golf.
women don't care about. Oh,
Well,
Sure.
but one of her friends is a huge football fan.
and didn't know.
She got it wrong. Well, actually,
She guessed it.
yeah, she guessed it, but she was
estimated.
unsure.
Yeah.
Wait, how's 3 feet called a yard though?
That's exactly just how it's defined.
Yeah, it
Yardstick.
just doesn't make sense.
Is that how?
It is random. I admit it's random.
It's
Yeah.
so random.
It's terrible.
That's not how yards are like, right? Like
A yard is
literally.
Oh, like your backyard.
Yeah.
No, it's just a yard is 3 feet.
That's so
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
That's why I
Yeah.
thought 12 feet kind of like, that's
Yeah.
maybe your yard.
Yeah, that's why I said
Yeah,
12. A lot of my friends said 12, actually. Yeah.
Oh,
and,
they
and
did.
then,
We got
so-
12s and 36s.
Oh my god.
One of her friends said a couple hundred.
But it's because, my theory is because of football, American football.
I think that's right. Yeah.
And like all the men are like, what?
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we didn't know.
Interesting.
So I made a reel about that. I'll show you guys later.
That's funny. Yeah.
Oh, there is an instant where Korean people use yards.
When golf.
Golf.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
really?
U.S. distances.
Yeah.
They say
Koreans are
yard?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think the yard, maybe Americans needed a rough equivalent of a meter. So we just put it together. It's not even perfectly, but it's like
Yeah.
roughly,
I see.
36 inches. So
But 좀 serious because you guys laughed really hard about this.
7 meters. What? Like,
But that's how the conversation started. Because I was like, oh, why is that? I don't know what a meter is. And then his friend Jay was like, what? Okay, fine. You
It's
get
like
a
a yard.
pass.
Yeah, yeah.
But you do know how many feet are in a yard. That's how the conversation started. I was like, no, I don't.
So, do you watch 나는 솔로 too?
Oh, I don't.
I really want to find a Korean American who
That's his
watches
favorite,
나는
yeah.
솔로.
Yeah, it's,
Wait, I thought
it's
you did.
I watched a few episodes.
Daniel?
Like, yeah, some of my friends are obsessed with it.
Yeah.
My parents are obsessed.
Yes.
It's like, it's such a,
It's a social experiment.
yeah. And then there's so many episodes too.
Yeah.
So it's just always ongoing. I come downstairs, my parents are
Yeah.
always watching it.
The beef about like things like Singles Inferno for me is that it feels very staged.
Yeah.
So even
yeah.
the people who are on there's like semi-celebrities,
Yeah.
influencers or whatnot, and their intention, I can already know that it's not to find love
For sure.
or whatever.
It's for clout.
Yeah, they came to promote themselves.
Make
or
the
whatever.
news, something.
나는 솔로 is like
It's real.
It's like very normal people.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like a social experiment. The only reason we can't review 나는 솔로 is because it doesn't have subtitles.
Oh, on Netflix it doesn't?
doesn't.
Oh,
I feel you.
I can't watch
need those too.
dude, I feel like that'll be so popular though, getting like a American
I know,
like, take
right?
on it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyways.
One of my goals this year is to actually get better at Korean.
Let's go.
So, let's go.
Wait, Janice, you still haven't told your number.
It's because she's not good at numbers. Okay, you don't have to
I'm
give
a
a number.
little. I would say I'm a. Wait, which one's Korean? The
One, yeah.
Okay. I'll say I'm a 4.
Oh,
you're a 4.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or,
Don't you think so? You think I'm a 3?
No.
yeah.
We'll
Nah.
see.
For
Let's get
your
into it.
reference, I identify myself as what,
2.5.
2.5.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
You are
7.5.
7.5. Yeah.
One thing is though, like, so when I worked at, like, I used to work at Disney, ABC, and they're all white, right? And like, it's so weird when I'm with like white people, I like, it's weird. I become more Korean, and I feel like a Korean fob, like
Oh,
when
wow.
I'm in a room of white people, and like, it's almost like my Korean accent comes out more when I talk.
No,
to them.
no, yeah.
I think there's like that inferiority complex a little bit. So it changes depending on who I'm with.
There's a scientific term for that.
Oh, what is it called?
It's called stereotype threat.
Huh?
So very established principle. If there's ever a situation where you feel like you will be stereotyped against, that stereotype is reinforced in your mind, and you actually are more likely to fall into that stereotype.
Oh, wow.
So it's a very established
It's real.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cognitive bias. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's so interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, I think I might have talked about it on the pod before, but the very famous study I think was Stanford. They tested a group of boys and a group of girls. And in the control, they just had them do the math test, and they scored exactly the same, like you'd imagine.
Yeah.
And then for the experiment, they told the girls, "Oh, here's a math test, but we know boys typically do better at
Oh.
it." That's all they said. And again, sure enough, the scores came out. The girls did worse.
Wow. It's like a confidence that they
Yeah.
instilled
Yes.
in them.
Yeah.
You know, I was a psych major.
Oh, and you didn't know about stereotype threat?
Daniel's very into these like
Cognitive biases.
yeah.
In general, I think one of my life goals is to like be aware of my own biases and try to help others, be aware
Wow.
too.
Yeah.
So and it's kind of in line with our podcast too.
That's so cool.
Very into like psychological things. Like he's like like semi Enneagram.
Oh, Enneagram.
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
guys know Enneagram?
Everyone at our
Experts.
church is super into that.
I'm super into it. Yeah.
What are your guys' enneagrams?
I keep forgetting mine.
We think you're a 3.
Yeah.
Wing 2. 4 wing 3.
Oh, okay. I'm
You
a
know what that
9.
means?
No,
9.
I just have to ask.
Keep
Anyway.
forgetting what they are.
Exactly. I always ask, but I don't know what they are.
3. 3's the achievement one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I
sounds
got
like
that.
Nice, yeah.
Aren't you a 6?
I don't know what I am. Yeah. People guess, but
Do you guys know what your
MBTI.
MBTI is?
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
don't.
I'm very easy to guess.
E
N
N F.
P.
yeah.
Oh yeah, P. That's right.
But you know,
yeah.
that's actually a typical Korean MBTI, Korean girl MBTI.
Oh.
I think.
Really? No.
Because you said the most common.
I thought the most common one was ISTJ.
For girls?
No, in
For the entire
over
population.
Korean
Oh,
population.
okay.
So complete opposite.
I,
Oh, it is.
I heard ENFP. I don't know. I was getting my eyelashes done last week, and then the lady was also ENFP, and we were
You were vibing?
chatting the entire hour and a half. It was a lot of fun.
We have a fan of the pod who insists I'm an ENFP,
Uh-huh.
but
Oh.
I'm an INFP. Yeah.
Oh, you're an I?
Yeah, no, the idea of chatting for an hour straight with that person doing your eyelashes is like, I would stop halfway through.
But you guys have the podcast like for 2-hour episodes.
You know, anyway,
it
I don't want to
different?
get into the INE stuff.
Yeah.
But one-on-one I love. It's just any sort of
Oh.
group environment. I'm like a wallflower. I shy back. Yeah.
I see.
Have I told you about the social stigma towards INFPs
Yes,
in
Jun.
Korea? Yeah.
You and the entire Korean news
Social
media
Do you
have
know,
told me.
You know this word called shipupi?
Shippy?
You know what? Like, that's like that's a bad word.
Yeah.
It's just like they put that word in front of INFP because they know that they're like drama queens.
Oh,
INFPs.
INFPs. Oh, I didn't know that.
They literally in Korea have job postings
Uh-huh.
where it's like, if you're an INFP, do not apply. Like you're not. We don't want you here.
Oh, wow.
So I feel very targeted by that.
Intact.
But I can agree with that. I mean, INFPs in Korea, I think, would just die. Yeah.
Oh.
In like your typical Korean corporate working world, it's just no place for INFPs.
Oh.
Which I think is a great transition.
In the workplace, you say?
Yeah, Janice, I think you worked at a Korean company in the US before.
Yeah.
So, yeah, why don't you tell us about that? Because I think a lot of Koreans might be interested in that too.
Yeah. I won't say the name because it's a very big company.
You already doxed them in your
I
podcast.
did. We're a small podcast. We're a neighborhood podcast. Korean American podcast is much bigger than HoneyJam.
Yeah.
But I worked. It was my first job right out of college. I applied to be an intern there just because I love Korean entertainment. So I was like, I want to be an intern and work at these, concerts and whatever. And so naturally, I went into the marketing side and then gradually became full-time employee. But it was a very interesting experience because it's a Korean company and it's a very big name in Korea. But then, it's in America.
Yeah.
And in America, this company is nothing. But they still have the very Korean, what do you say, traditions, I guess.
I
So
see.
we called everyone Nim. David Nim, Daniel Nim, Jun Nim.
Yeah.
Even though even my boss would call me Janice Nim.
Yeah.
Well, actually she wouldn't, but that was kind of the form.
Hierarchy?
Yeah, that was the hierarchy. They did it so that you could feel everyone's on the same playing field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but everyone knew even it's just all for show because they say we want everyone to feel equal and everything.
Yeah.
But then the CEO is freaking crazy and everyone's scared of him. And so it was a very eye-opening experience for me, especially coming out of college.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy things happened in the office. And it felt like I was in Korea
Yeah.
because it's everyone's Korean. I mean, actually, there were non-Korean employees there too, and we talked about this on my podcast. But it's funny because even the non-Koreans would kind of act Korean, and they would be Janice Nim. It's just so that
They're
was
the
was
whitest
funny.
voice possible.
Yeah. But actually, a lot of them knew how to speak Korean too,
Oh,
which was
wow.
very interesting. Yeah, they kind of self-learned. Yeah.
What are one of your craziest stories?
Craziest stories.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, for example, there was a lot of, like in Korea, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like there's a lot of shady things that happen within Korean, like just companies, a lot of like, 바람, adultery.
Yeah.
Affairs.
Affairs.
You're going biblical here. Adultery.
This is what I'm talking about. Sometimes I can't like think of the American English terms for certain things, even though I'm not like super Korean.
It's so funny. The first thing that she said is 바람. And then it's like adultery.
Yeah. Even like earlier, I was trying to think of the English word for 갱년기, which is
menopause.
see, I can't. Yeah, menopause. Like things like that. I'm like, okay, maybe I'm a little bit more Korean. So that kind of happened within our company too.
Oh, wow.
There were like
Really?
rumors about like the finance head, like making out with the HR head in the parking.
Yeah.
Literally one person, not on my team.
Yeah.
This guy's like high up, right? Like I don't know, he's like director or something like that
Yeah.
of a team. He was gone one day, and I was like, oh, what happened to him? Turns out he was watching like heavy porn in the office.
Oh, wow.
Like twice. He got caught for it twice, and they finally let him go.
Why? What?
I don't know. And he also had a family. Yes,
Buying
crazy.
bags. With
Oh, well,
company
yeah.
money.
Well,
Come
well,
on.
that's not true. We don't know
What do
yet.
you
We don't
mean?
know for sure.
It's
But
true.
there was a rumor that somebody was also using like the company card to like buy like bags and like trips and stuff like that. Using the company card for like,
For another married woman.
Yeah.
A married man doing it for
Oh,
a
I see.
married
Okay.
woman with
yeah,
a company
so
card.
it's crazy.
Wow.
I'm like, dude.
That's important details here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because if you're just saying like, using the company credit card
Sorry.
for personal reasons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but it's no, buying a bag for a
Yeah.
mistress at the company. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
A
different.
lot of weird stuff like that. And I'm just like, like 21 years old, hearing about these stories. Yeah.
You should talk about how you were pushed out.
Oh, yeah.
It's the best story.
So basically, so me and my boss, we were really close.
Okay.
And she was like 30 years old, I was 21. She kind of like treated me like her 동생. And like, as an intern, you don't really do much. So we would just like, grab a room and just like drink coffee and like chat for like an hour and then just work for like 30 minutes and just like catch up on life and stuff like that. And I really felt close to her. But
she was Korean.
she was Korean American actually. She
okay.
also went to like college
I
out
see.
of America and stuff like that.
You were not an intern though.
Oh yeah, at that time.
Oh, you
I
got
became-
converted into
Yeah,
full
Yeah,
time. Okay.
but I was under her the entire time, and she really liked me because I was like very like saksakke and like very just obedient, like a type of intern that like anyone would like.
Sorry, what's saksake? Earnest? That's the feeling I get.
It's like one of those words
Diligent?
that's very hard to translate.
Diligent, I
Is it
think,
diligent?
Yeah, diligent, like good attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like knows how to.
very responsive.
Yeah, like it's always
On
one
top
step
of it.
ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, on
okay,
top
okay.
of it.
Got it,
Anticipating
got it.
needs.
Oh
That
wow!
kind of thing, right?
You know this?
Yeah.
It's like
Well,
basically,
he learned it recently
her.
too. Yeah.
basically what a mother-in-law would expect for their 며느리.
Oh,
Yeah.
their daughter-in-law.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
My parents expect that from him.
Yeah. That's our dynamic. My parents
we'll
are
get into
so
that later.
chill.
Yeah.
We'll get.
So, anyways, we were super close. And then one day, this was when I was like kind of dabbling in Twitter. And I used my Twitter as kind of like a personal diary, like journal. And I would just like upload stupid thoughts that just came onto my mind, right? And like no one was following me. So I just would upload whatever I wanted. And then one time, like we were working, and then the bathroom in the office was kind of far away,
Yeah.
and it's like really quiet. So like when someone else is in there, and so I was like, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. I'm about to get up. My boss gets up first. I know she's going to the bathroom, and I was like, oh shoot, if she goes, then I can't go because I don't want to
Too awkward.
disturb the peace. Yeah. But then the thing is, like, when she goes to the bathroom, like, I know she's there for a while. I don't know. It's like personal time. You
Yeah,
take your phone,
yeah.
you get, lose track of time, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, that's kind of funny. I'm waiting for my boss to come back from the bathroom. I'm going to put this on Twitter. So I posted on my Twitter saying, like, I really need to go to the bathroom, but my boss just went. And so now, what was it? The wording?
We said it's the loo.
Yeah.
It's like whenever I need to go to the loo,
loo.
my boss gets up, so I have to wait.
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah, it was
okay.
So I have
that.
to wait for
Because
her
there
to
was a
come
character count
That's
limit.
funny. Yeah, that's
it's
funny.
funny,
That's
right?
good,
And
yeah.
I posted it, and I realized I posted it on the company Twitter.
For how long?
It was like immediately, like I knew. So
Oh,
I
you knew?
I took it down immediately.
But push notifications, June. People
Yeah.
are going to
Yeah.
find out.
So
Yeah.
and then okay, thankfully though, like the company, like I said, it's very small in America, so
yeah.
they didn't have many followers. Like no one cares. Like very little engagement. And so I was like, oh my God, thank God. Like, I hope like she didn't see it. Turns out I also had like, it was linked to Facebook. So it was up on Facebook for a while.
God, yeah. And you forgot to delete it off Facebook.
Immediately.
I
I didn't delete it immediately.
You got
yeah. My friend commented on it and then she was like, is this a mistake? And I was like, oh my God. So I deleted it maybe like 10 minutes later. And then at that point, my boss was still in the bathroom. My heart was just pounding because I was like, I hope she didn't see it. Yeah. She comes back. The rest of the day, she just like ignores me. It's like cold.
She knew.
And I was like, oh my God, she knows.
Yeah.
She knows. She's not saying anything, but I know she knows. And then like a week passes. She didn't say anything.
Oh.
And you know, like I said, we were meeting every single day for coffee, talking about like life together. She stopped meeting with me.
Oh my God.
And then after a week, she finally calls me in at the end of the day. And she's like, sit down. And she's like, so I did see what you posted. And she was just like so offended. And she was like, I, took care of you. And like, I took you under my wing. And like, I just feel so betrayed because you talk crap about me like that. Talk
Little crap.
Nice.
And so I was like, I just bawled. I was just crying in front of her because I felt like it was kind of,
It's not about her. It's just
Exactly,
funny. It is.
exactly.
It's a
That
funny
bad.
thought.
I wasn't talking crap about her.
Yeah.
In fact, it was just making fun of myself
Yeah.
for waiting when I could just go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
But, obviously it was a very big mistake. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, posting it to the company.
Yeah,
Twitter.
that is not a good look. And so, I said, I'm so sorry. And she was like, I don't even want to accept your apology. Like from here on out, you and I, we're a business relationship.
Wow.
And I don't want to, like, to be
She
honest, like
literally
you
said
Yeah,
that?
yeah. She said we're like from now on we're business and I don't want to like, be that close anymore, basically. And so I was just so shocked. And like, if you know me, I'm a people pleaser and I cannot handle knowing that someone doesn't like me.
You said you're an Enneagram 9, right?
Yeah,
yeah,
9.
that will kill you.
Yeah, and I just felt like so, and I was trying to explain myself, like, I wasn't talking badly about you.
Yeah.
That's not what I felt. So just misunderstood.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, that was it. And then HR calls me in, and she's like, "Yeah, we heard you did this." And
Yeah.
I was just
She reported
crying.
to HR.
Yeah.
She reported to HR.
That's pretty.
And then the HR lady.
That's not a Korean company thing. I think it's
It's
more of
not?
like an American
Oh,
company.
is
Wait,
it?
let's finish the story.
Yeah.
I
And
have
then
thoughts.
HR was just like, oh, how she is. And she was very understanding of me, actually. She's like, and I heard like it didn't even do anything to the socials. So you're fine. Just forget about it. And I was, like young. I'm just crying in her office. And everyone's like, it's okay. It's okay. She's a little harsh.
Yeah.
Just forget about it. And then, so, our relationship completely changed. And I worked there for like 2 months and I just couldn't handle it because I just felt like it was just too big of a change. So, and then I quit.
So you quit.
Yeah, I quit without anything like in line. I went to Costa Rica with my family. I had to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I was
Yeah.
21 years old,
Yeah.
so had time to think about it.
Whoa.
But that was definitely a traumatic time for me. And obviously, I can't blame anyone else except myself. That was my mistake.
Yeah.
But I think I also just kind of messed with the wrong person.
Yeah. It feels too much of a harsh reaction to that,
Yeah.
to what you
Yeah.
did.
In fact, like I think you could have even reported to HR and said, "Hey, I'm facing retaliation over something like this."
That's true.
And so you could have gotten your manager in trouble. But you're 21, you don't know that, and
Yeah.
you're like probably just scared and sad and like confused. So.
Also, the HR in that company was just totally messed up. Like there was no
Yeah.
HR basically.
Which I think is true of most companies, but
Yeah.
I can imagine a Korean company in the US has maybe even more Korean style HR.
Maybe, I don't know.
What's your take, Jun?
I've heard crazy stories happening in the office, but isn't that true for American companies as well? No?
I don't know.
No, the
No? I don't
think
affairs.
so.
I don't think it's as.
No.
Okay, maybe it's because I work in tech. But like the
I've heard of
biggest
some affairs.
At
too.
tech?
Yeah,
Oh, in
really.
sales.
Yeah. I was
Sales.
when I was in sales,
It happens a lot in sales.
for sure.
Yeah,
the
because they're on the road, they're traveling.
Yeah.
One of the biggest and like the funniest scandal that I heard in my workplace is that how they're like vending machines in Korean companies and they sell it for very cheap prices of like 200won, 300won
Oh, like discounted, subsidized.
per like soda can.
Okay.
This person like bought like hundreds of these cans
Oh my gosh.
and then he went to like a 산, like 등산
To resell them.
to resell.
That's a hustler.
Dang, side hustle.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
Like, think about the money that he would have made. It's like, I don't know, like 몇십만 원, right?
Yeah.
Out of that. But like he was doing that, he got fired.
Wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I hear that story, though, I feel it's hard for me to distinguish like the American side versus Korean side. But I think even the idea that like your manager would play sole favorites to you, that itself wouldn't necessarily be kosher in an American workplace. Because everyone else is thinking, okay, everyone was Korean there, right? But for me, I'm thinking like, oh, like that's favoritism.
Yeah.
That's not right.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of interesting in and of itself. Yeah, I think then like...
But that happens in American workplaces too, right?
I don't think it would
It's
be
just
so
like
maybe
human instinct.
overtly obvious about it.
Yeah.
Is my feeling. Like you have to be more neutral and impartial.
For sure.
I see.
Otherwise, again, HR is going to come get you.
Yeah.
And then, but yeah, in response to that being so retaliatory,
Yeah.
and like, I don't know, quite aggressive, that I don't think is a Korean thing per se. That's
No.
just her personality.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
super like, hey, you're in or you're out.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't say that particularly is like a Korean workplace thing.
Yeah. That's just
So-
my
yeah,
experience
yeah.
in a Korean company, I guess.
No, more the affairs and like all that type of
Uh-huh.
scandal. It feels maybe Korean companies gossip more. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
lots of gossip.
for sure, yeah.
Lots of gossip.
Yeah.
And then like hesiks too.
Oh, you have to tell us that.
So you had hasiks.
Yeah, we have hasiks. It
okay.
wasn't as like often as Korean companies do here, but we had that was kind of crazy to me too because I grew up watching Korean dramas and like you only see hesiks in dramas. So
Yeah,
to
yeah,
me
yeah.
that was really exciting actually. I'm
Right,
like, ooh,
right? Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
living my Korean life, fantasy.
That was my dream moving here. I was
Yeah.
like, I want to do hashik with
Yeah.
my like team.
Yeah. And then you go out and everyone's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do hesik.
Yeah.
I'm like, why? We're using the company card to get really good food
Yeah.
and like alcohol.
Yeah.
And so I really enjoyed them. One of the stories that we shared on our podcast, like Jess and I, so actually my best friend and I, we worked at the company together. And so we were on different teams, but we were kind of like the fresh interns. And so, being the intern, you have to kind of like be the entertainer in like the heshiks, like naturally. I mean, no one forced us to do anything or anything like that. It's just like kind of.
There's an expectation though.
Is
no?
there? I don't know. I didn't feel it.
Okay.
Like there was no pressure.
Okay.
It's also your guys' natural personality.
Yes.
to do
Oh,
that.
okay.
Yeah.
I think like Jess and I, we like love 노래방, like love dancing, just kind of like fooling around and stuff. So we would go to the heshiks and just have a really good time. And like, sometimes they'd be like, okay, like sing a song. And there was one night where like we sang Twinkle by TTS. It's like an old 소녀시대
Do you know this?
subunit.
Yeah, it's the girls' generation.
Yeah.
Like they call it the quote unquote unit.
Yeah.
Where, like, certain members create like another group.
Okay.
Yeah, they break off. And then so we were like,
They call it TTS.
I think so, yeah.
In Korea, it's Tetiso.
Oh, Tetiso. Oh, yeah, Tetiso. Yeah, that's what it's called. And so we were like doing the dances and everyone loved it. And everyone was going crazy, We're like, we won everyone's favor. We're like, at that point, we're interns, so we want to look good.
Yeah.
So we could be full-time employees, So we really gave it our all, give it a epic performance. And then the next day, I was like, I'm going to go into office and everyone's going to be like, oh,
High-fiving.
Janice,
Yeah,
Jess,
yeah.
you guys are great last night.
Welcome to the company.
Yeah, exactly. But nothing. Everyone just like back at work, pretend like I don't know if they're pretending or like they forgot because of the alcohol.
Yeah.
No, but not one single word was spoken about heshik, and I'm like what happened,
Yeah.
guys? Last night was so much fun, right? Like,
Yeah.
anyone gonna talk about it? Nothing. So
I definitely resonate with that.
Oh, really?
It's because it's like the persona thing, I think.
Work persona,
work persona,
after-work
like
persona.
after work persona. Like I listened to your pod about this episode, and like you told the audience that like your boss even said like 언니라고 불러.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. So like at
call
the
her
Buddha,
언니.
yeah,
Yeah,
because
call-
we're all saying like, oh, something mean,
yeah,
something
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
like Jessica-님, and then I think one of Jess's boss was like, 언니라고 불러.
That is a very Korean
It's
thing.
so cute though.
And Jess was like,
And then the next
"Yes!"
day, it's just like Jessica Nim.
That's the meme. It's like, 언니?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they did kind of feel more close to you and like they got to bond each other
Yeah.
a bit better.
Yeah.
But then it's like now it's like your work persona. You don't want to like infiltrate your personal life
Yeah.
into your work thing. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's a very Korean company or Korean culture.
Korean
mindset.
culture thing in general,
Americans would be all over that, be like, yo, like, let's watch it again.
Yeah.
Like, when are we doing it next time?
Yeah,
right? It's just
exactly.
like,
Yeah.
And I think in my Korean mind, I would feel like a bit less professional
Yeah.
to bring in that heshik back to my day work atmosphere.
So did it carry over then not at work? How about the next heshik? Were they expecting that of you and did
Yeah.
they talk about it then?
Oh, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. They're
So
like,
it isn't
oh,
like-
So they
the-
stored it in some other
Yeah.
hard drive.
Different
you know?
persona.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, because they know like that we have that in us now, and they're like, okay, like Janice, your turn, like sing it like last time, something like that.
Yeah.
And then the next day, it's just like
Yeah.
everyone forgot.
Only in the 노래방 you can call me 언니.
Exactly. exactly.
Well, I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it safe to say what happens at hashik stays at hashik?
I mean, you can like gossip about it a little bit, but like you wouldn't like try to bring it back in and make it another thing in your day work life. Yeah.
How do you guys feel about that? Maybe David, like, do you feel like you have different personas in life and you can only show a certain one in different contexts? Or is it just like you're you and that's who you are in all contexts?
I think I'm me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would you say?
You're definitely
American, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that is an American thing. He's
totally, yeah,
very
yeah.
true to himself. I don't want to say like Koreans are fake, but I feel like Koreans are better like kind of like shape shifting almost.
Yeah.
Even like with my parents, right?
Sorry, Jan, I'm supposed to cut you off
No,
because
no,
I
no.
want David to talk.
Yeah. No, yes, go ahead. No, go ahead. You just look at me.
You start talking.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
You had like
this
one sentence and like, oh yeah.
This is our dynamic.
It is. It is.
I love it.
And you're fine. I'm fine with it, but I want to give
Yeah,
you.
yeah. No, it only works because I let her take the spotlight. You know, she needs that.
Go ahead.
But I would say it did show up most when we got married and we moved in with her parents. We got married in SF, but then during
Oh,
COVID,
you did.
yeah,
Where'd you get married?
City Hall.
City Hall.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. It was just a paper wedding because our actual ceremony was supposed to be 2 weeks later, and then everything shut down.
But why SF? Were you guys living there? Or?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have
Yeah.
to talk about that.
Yeah, we had just moved up for like our first tech jobs or whatever. And then we came back because we thought we were going to be back during COVID for a couple months. And we ended up just staying. It's been 5 years now.
With my parents.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, are you based in the Bay Area? For some reason, I
No.
thought it was SoCal, right?
It is.
It is,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
so
okay.
We were there for 4 months or something. And then
Okay.
everything shut down.
Okay, okay.
So we relocated
Before COVID.
back
Got it, got
to
it.
LA.
I see.
All right. So yeah. So you're living with.
Yeah, we're
Janice's
living with
parents
her
now.
parents.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's when I first realized, okay, I'm really American.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm American or they're just weird. But you know, there's a thing they say Koreans who immigrated to America a long time ago,
Yeah.
they're kind of like a snapshot
Yes.
of whatever culture
Time
was like back.
capsule.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're stuck like that and they're applying all these rules and expecting me to follow. And not just follow, but to know what all the rules are without ever having lived in that household.
Yeah, and then
So-
they get annoyed at you for not knowing.
Exactly.
Why do I have to tell this to you?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wait,
So-
Janice, when did your parents immigrate? And David, when did your parents
When
immigrate?
I was 3, so when they were
Yeah, bad with numbers.
29.
I'm asking for a year.
for a year.
1997.
Birthday
No.
year plus
1996.
96.
Yeah.
Okay,
96.
okay.
My mom probably like either late 70s or early 80s.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then my dad came later.
okay.
Yeah.
For reference, my parents immigrated 75.
Okay. Yeah.
I can probably relate a lot more with maybe your parents' mentality.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my mom's good at English, and yeah, I mean they were very. They had rules too in my house, but no weird cultural stuff. Yeah. One example. Best example that I give is in Janice's family, everyone has a designated spoon. So when I first moved in, I was just like grabbing a spoon for a snack or something.
Yeah.
Her mom scolded me.
Yeah.
She was like, "Hey, you can't use that. That's Janice's dad's spoon.
Yeah.
Here, you can take this green one.
Yeah.
This one will be yours."
Oh, they're different
okay?
colors?
Yeah,
Yeah.
my dad's was golden.
green.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm like, how do you know
Oh,
whose
yeah.
spoon is what? Is it
Yeah.
like labeled like a kid's spoon?
So her dad's was golden. Her mom's had like this white,
The golden spoon.
pearly looking handle. Hers was red.
Red.
Or there's red, blue, and green. So she just gave me the green one. So, okay, from
a
now
nice
on,
spoon.
this is yours. Okay, so just use this one.
Wait, is that a hygienic thing? That's not a
No,
typical thing.
It is. I think it's in traditional Korean culture. When you get married, you bring in certain stuff from your house, which is called like a honsu.
Okay.
Usually, you bring like a very expensive ibul, which is like silk and stuff like that. And with that, the dad brings in like silver cutlery, and that's supposed to be like your appa sukara.
Like just one?
Oh.
That's
if
so
it's
weird
one.
to me. It should all match, right?
Maybe for the wedded couple.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
most of the time there's like a amma sukarak too. In my household, it was we only had appa sukarak.
Oh, you
Which-
only had appa.
Wait, you had this
which
too,
was
Jun.
silver.
But
Yeah.
growing up, you had an appa
We had an appa sukarak. We still have an appa sukarak.
Only your dad eats from it?
It's like kind of blurred now,
Okay,
but when I was
okay,
growing
okay,
up, there was
okay.
strictly an appa sukarak,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
can't eat out of it.
I've never heard this. This is
Yeah.
weird to me.
So when they first said that to me, or when she first said that to me, I was looking around like, wait, it's a joke, right? Yeah. But she was being completely serious. So I kind of had to do that for a while.
Yeah.
And then there would be certain times where her dad is not as much of a stickler about it.
Wait, sorry, I'm not ready to move on yet. Is it like a hygienic thing? Is it a status hierarchy thing?
It's a hierarchy thing.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
so
like
he has the golden...
you're the leader of the family,
Yeah.
kind of. Yeah, it's
The
like
spoon.
yeah, this it's like a
Spoon and 젓가락.
Yeah.
symbolism.
Golden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we can move on.
So there will be times where, you know, we're setting the table for dinner,
Yeah.
or we're eating and then they come from somewhere. So then we also set their table later. And there'll be times where I'm using the spoon and I'm like, oh shoot. Because I forget. And they're like, her dad would make eye contact with me. And
So
then,
awkward.
yeah. But eventually he just told me like, just use whatever.
use it.
Yeah. But I think that was after, there was a point when I stopped trying to, you know, act like I'm Korean and fit under their rules. It's just more like, this is who I am.
Yes.
I'll follow the rules in terms of, I don't know, the things that they think are considerate.
Yeah.
But for the traditions and stuff, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
For
I can't do that.
example,
What?
another example.
Yeah.
Can I share it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Is like, we live under the same roof, I get it, but like, you know, when you go to sleep or when you wake up, you have to go and insa, you know? The thing
I'm
is like,
surprised your take on this, because I did that too. But yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I feel like modern Koreans are like, that's so old-fashioned.
You go 인사
well, like, for example, 안녕히 주무세요, 아버님.
Before
or,
you
know.
go to bed.
before you go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't think that happens in Korea anymore.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I grew up doing that. Yeah.
Like, even if it's your in-laws and you're living in the same roof.
So I don't think it'll happen these days.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
interesting.
I have another
Maybe I
example.
love Korea.
If you come home, the first thing you do is tell your parents, right? You
Oh,
have
yeah.
to go like,
Okay.
oh, I'm home.
For sure.
I don't think that's true anymore in modern Korea. I mean, maybe apartments are small
like-
enough,
yeah.
but you have
Yeah.
to very intentionally be like, oh, I'm home or
Yeah.
I'm leaving.
Yes.
Like the first thing I do is I go tell my parents.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Oh.
don't think that's common anymore.
It's so
Okay.
interesting because in my mind, that sounds so Korean, but nowadays you're saying modern Koreans don't even.
Dude, that's the number one thing on this podcast.
I can't attest to that because
Okay.
I've never lived with my parents as an adult.
Oh, okay, okay.
It was like before I was not an adult, so it was just natural that
Yeah.
I tell them where I go when
Yeah.
I come back. But I don't know if they do that as an adult. Yeah.
But anyway, I
Yeah.
think one of the like reasons I wanted to document this podcast is like Korea today feels so different than the Korea I expected.
Yeah.
So things like that. But anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I'll be like, because for me, I grew up, I have to do that, like no matter what, to any adult.
Yeah.
And that's just manners for me.
Yeah.
And so every night I'll, like, even for me, if I'm just like, good night, 엄마, 아빠, I say that. I don't say, 어머니, 아버지, 안녕하세요. I say, good night, that's it. That's the fact that I just acknowledge them, I think is it. But then David, like, you know, we're upstairs. I'm like, David, let's go downstairs and say good night. And he's like, in his boxers, he's like, dude, I have to put my pants on and like go downstairs. Like, 굳이, like, I have to go say good night.
Well,
I'm
you
seeing
said
them
two different
tomorrow.
things. You said you just yell it, but you don't. She wants us to go down.
yeah.
Well, yeah,
'Cause,
because
you
they
know.
live in the valley, so North LA. There's a lot more space, so their house is pretty big.
Yeah.
For me, it's if we're in the same area and we're going to sleep. Of course,
You'll
I'll
do it,
acknowledge them, say goodnight. Same thing in the morning. If I see them, then I'll acknowledge. But then to go all the way down there to make eye contact, you know,
Yeah.
good night, then go back up. It's just like
But my parents did address it one time. They were like,
Yeah.
hey, how come David doesn't like insa to us before going to sleep?
I like how you're talking with your teeth clenched. Like,
That's how it was.
very much channeling your parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that also in itself, I was like, there's so much pressure as like being the middle person. But because my parents said that, I had to tell Dave, like, David, like, come downstairs with me to say goodnight. And he's like, no, I'm not going to.
Oh, you took a stand.
For
I did.
sure.
At a
Yeah.
certain point, I had to.
And I think that's where his like Americanness comes out.
yeah.
And like in the beginning, it really took time to adjust. Like my parents would be like, is he just rude? And David's just like, I'm not going to do that just to do that.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm me.
That's not my culture upbringing. It's not rude for me.
Yeah. And so now after living with them for 4 years, my parents like 100% like understand David and David like 100% understand my parents. And you know, he has to do certain things that he doesn't want to. And like my
Yeah.
parents will have to understand certain things too. Just living together, it just has to be that way.
Yeah. But more than the nighttime, the morning was worse because we were working remote. So we're just in our offices.
Oh, yeah.
But they expected us, like, right when they wake up to go out, face them, and, you know, acknowledge.
Yeah.
Maybe spend some time eating breakfast. But I'm like, dude, I'm working.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. So,
For that one, I feel like at least my parents would have been more understanding.
Yeah.
Because for me in my house, it's like, oh, if you're working, like, that's it.
Yeah.
Right. And so at least I think my parents would have been okay with that. But yeah, I could understand. It's just like sometimes I feel if my wife, because my wife is actually more like you. Her parents emigrated much later. And her parents are, anyway, they had her younger, so they're younger overall. But sometimes when my wife's in front of my family, I'm like getting really nervous. Like, oh, she didn't do that thing I want her to do.
Yes.
Or she's being too forward, or she shouldn't have said that. It's like, oh.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, because I relate with you on that a lot.
Yeah. Some of the like gender and roles are flipped, right? But the relationship with like when your parents emigrated, the expectations, it's all kind of there.
For sure, yeah. Another big one actually is her dad especially doesn't understand me. He always says like, 희한하다, which is like you're strange.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
he says that?
Yeah, he says that
In a
a
경상도
lot.
accent.
No, he's actually born in Seoul.
Oh, but
Yeah.
that just sounded like a 경상도.
Yeah, he always says, wow. He always says like that.
He literally says you're so
For,
strange.
Yeah.
Does he call you 정서방?
No,
No.
they call him David.
No, they call me 아들.
Oh yeah, they call him Ader.
Oh, bro, that means a lot.
Yeah.
I don't
Your
like
name.
it actually.
He
Because
actually
it's like Ader for a lot of the responsibilities, but none of the perks.
none of the perks.
Got it.
Yeah.
That's a good way to say it.
Yeah, but her dad, for example, I like cooking.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to cook, and he kind of grew up where the woman does
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
cooking.
yeah.
So even starting from that, like I really like food, coffee, that kind of stuff. And I don't drink that much. And so everything I did was
Yeah.
it didn't make sense.
Doesn't
to
make
him.
sense to him.
Yeah.
So he just didn't understand.
Yeah.
One time my guy friend came over, the one who lives in Korea, and then we were
Best
just
friends.
best friends. We were just catching up over some beers, and then her dad was like going to sleep, and it's like, dang, these guys are still talking. Are they gay? I was like, dude, I'm married to your daughter, first of all, and second of all, no, we're just talking.
Yeah.
We're just catching up.
It's so funny.
It was crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
So
to my dad, it was like, why are these two guys talking for like 4 hours?
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
they talk about? And actually, you guys weren't drinking at the time over alcohol. That's why my dad was even more confused.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
like,
you're right, you're
how
right.
are they just chatting over tea for 4 hours?
That's
like-
true. Yeah.
So that he'd be like, oh, so strange.
Yeah.
So strange.
So strange. Yeah, so big adjustment.
Yeah. I feel like you're living the typical Korean like daughter-in-law life.
Exactly.
Because you have to conform
Yeah.
to that family. It's so
Yeah.
awkward and uncomfortable.
So for all our married friends, it's just me and the wives
Yeah,
talking about our
commiserating
in-laws.
over
Exactly.
Yeah, because they call it 시월드, right? Like living in the in-laws world. And it's usually the daughters, but it's flipped. David's in the 시월드.
Yeah, I think it's pretty abnormal that the husband lives with the wife's parents, right?
Yeah.
Because you know, like there's like this very very famous '90s Korean sitcom called 순풍산부인가.
Oh, yeah.
where the husband lives with the wife's family,
Family.
and that itself
It's
is
part of
kind of
the
like
situation.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the funniness of the
Yeah.
entire sitcom. Yeah. Sorry, this is a random question. Are you also a Chong to follow his last name?
Yeah, I'm
Oh.
usually Hashi.
Yeah.
Janice Ha.
Oh.
Yeah, my Korean name is Ha Ji-won. If you know
you're-
her.
That's like super classic, right? Oh, she's a famous actress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old actress.
Yeah.
Now I'm
In
John.
Korea, they don't take the husband's last name, right?
No.
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
talked about that.
So actually, I don't really care about that much.
Yeah.
But specifically for her, because she was so attached to her family.
It was
and-
symbolic.
Yeah, it was
Big
symbolism.
sacrifice giving up your name.
Yeah.
Yeah, because everything we would talk about when we were dating and engaged, it was just, oh, my parents, or like my dad wouldn't do it this way. And so it was just a symbol of starting our own family. Even though we live with our parents now.
I'm sad. I really liked my last name.
I brought that up as an example of like, oh, Korea's so progressive. Like women don't take on their husbands' names. But then June shut me down.
Wait, why?
So it's because you're never part of the family.
Oh, that's ouch.
And then all our Korean commenters agreed.
Really? Oh my god, that is so interesting.
No, but then I think a lot of the women were like, oh, it's such a shame for my parents and my dad. It's like, oh, giving up their name.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ah, I see.
Anyway, somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I thought it was funny.
So the wife doesn't take the husband's last name. What about the kids?
Usually the father's
Dad.
name.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. Okay. I see.
Messed up. Only the mom is like the lone
Yeah.
other last name.
Yeah.
I see.
But have you seen like the trend in the US? It's like you concatenate the names, right?
Yeah.
But like, how long could this go on?
Exactly.
The names
Yeah.
are gonna get super long.
Yeah.
It's not practical.
That's true.
Imagine just a bunch of Koreans. It's like
Hakim.
Janice, yeah,
Park
Hakim
Lee.
Lee.
Start repeating to like Kim Park Lee. Ah.
Kim.
So I know that you guys were here for 3.5 months now, and then you're leaving next Wednesday,
Wednesday,
right?
mhm.
So, like what? So it's been a while. It's like it's more than just a visit, right?
Yeah.
For compared to like your summer visits before. So what brought you here this time, and why did you stay for so long?
So when COVID first happened, we actually came for 3 months just to do remote work. It was amazing because it was the first time we experienced that. So we were here for 3 months that time. This time,
Sorry, this was like 2021-ish.
yes.
Yeah,
okay,
21.
okay, perfect.
Yeah. But then this time we came for IVF actually. So yeah, we've been trying to have kids for 4 years and did some fertility treatment in America, but we want to come here because IVF is way cheaper. Yeah. And I think technically we're not the best fit for IVF because of our struggles we have like a low egg count. So I think with IVF it's not the best chances anyway. So we just figured like we'll come spend some time with grandparents and then do the fertility treatment and we could work remote. So originally it was actually gonna be 2 months, but we did a cycle of egg retrievals and then didn't get as many as we had hoped. So the doctor just recommended to extend and try one more time. Yeah. So that's where we're at. So we have a couple, 2 embryos, and we're coming back in 2 months. For 2 more months to implant and try. Yeah. So
you'll come on the pod again in 2 months, right?
if you have us, yeah.
If you'll have us, if you're not way too big for us by then, absolutely.
Or maybe we can go on your pod.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Okay,
great.
all right.
Yeah.
Awesome. How did you get to know about like the doctors that you're gonna meet, or is there like a famous doctor amongst the Korean American?
Oh, I don't know about Korean American, but I just know like Chabyongwon in Korea is like a very famous
Chabyong.
hospital. It's actually the hospital I was born in. But their fertility clinic is very
yes,
well
yes.
known.
Yeah.
And then within that clinic, there is like one doctor that's like very popular. And so my mom like set up an appointment, and the appointment was like 2 months before. We had to.
Yeah,
I mean, that was the
booked out
soonest.
ahead.
Yeah, like, way ahead. And so we've been going there. It's been a really good experience overall.
Really?
Is there like a YouTube content creator that helped guide you through this? And like,
So I like. Oh, sorry, I keep cutting you off.
the only reason I'm asking is,
Yeah.
it's very popular in Korea for men to do hair transplant.
Oh.
And there's like a very famous Korean guy. His YouTube channel is Hairliciously.
Korean American?
Yeah, and he became like super famous and influencer, and all these people follow like the Hairliciously. They go to his clinic, and he documented the whole thing so well. So I'm just wondering if there's an equivalent for IVF in Korea, and if not, you guys could be it. But yeah,
No, so I like looked it up, right? Like while we were in America, because I was like, oh, I don't want to pay $20,000 for one cycle of IVF.
oh, it's so expensive.
Yeah. And so I was like, there has to be another option in Korea. And I looked it up on YouTube, on like shorts on TikTok. I actually didn't look on TikTok, but there's nothing on YouTube.
Oh.
Like nobody. So I was like, dude, this is my chance.
Yeah.
And so I actually filmed a lot while I was at the hospital. And I'm going to try to make some reels. Maybe
nice.
hopefully it'll pop off.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's so well done. It's you just go, you show up, and they have a whole system. It's so easy. So it would be helpful, I think, if especially for people who don't speak Korean, like to have like a source.
I was gonna say it's easy for you because you speak Korean very natively.
It's not easy.
Yeah. I would be like, it would be a complete blocker for me to even think about trying.
Yeah.
Because of my Korean language. Yeah.
They say they're foreigner friendly too, but it's not.
Yeah, they say it, but then no one speaks English there.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
funny how that works in Korea.
but like like, a lot of foreigners have been coming for like beauty stuff, and
Dude, metatourism here is crazy.
Yeah.
It's popping off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so I know like when you go to the cosmetics side, there are English speaking hospitals, but here nobody spoke English, and like medical terms too, it's like a whole new thing. Even for me, it was a struggle. A lot of things
Even for Koreans.
Even like I learned a lot of terms. Like sunap is something that I never used in like my daily thing, and we both learned it. It's basically like paying.
pay.
Yeah, you're paying. Things like that.
Well,
So,
sunap means payment, or
Only in a hospital context. I don't know why.
Yeah.
it's not a Kesan or
It is
Exactly.
kesan in general, but they don't
Kesan.
use that word
Oh.
in a hospital.
It's like more it sounds like collecting of payments, no? Kind of?
Because it has to do with the insurance thing. That's
Oh,
why.
right,
They
right,
call it
right.
like,
Oh, is it like
collecting
copay?
of documents.
Kind of,
Oh,
I
that's
guess.
true. In English, in America, you'd always say, "What's your copay?"
Yeah,
not what's
yeah.
the payment?
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
I think it's like that.
Okay.
So that's why we came to Korea this time.
Yeah. How's the? I mean, you described a little bit, but how has it been? Maybe relative to expectations. Like, what's been, anything interesting
Yeah.
about the IVF experience here?
I don't know about IVF, but when we first came here, we felt like Koreans were meaner this time around
Yeah.
compared to 3 years ago. We were wondering if it was COVID or we actually just came from Japan right before.
So the contrast there. Too.
Yeah, we were wondering maybe it's just Japanese people are way super polite that we
Yeah.
felt that way, but yeah, that was one of the things we noticed
Yeah.
right away.
We came back, Dave's like, all right, I'm Japanese now. But I mean, I said like Koreans, like they can come off a little rough around the edges, but they have a lot of Chong, Like they have the. Well, even the Koreans.
Korean American people. It's only Korean Americans. Yeah, we don't. Koreans don't believe in
American
Jong.
I feel like Korean Americans have a very particular thing about Chong.
We do. Don't
then
we?
Han-
We love it.
True.
Yeah.
And every time I talk about with my friends, like, oh, my co-host Daniel, he always talks about Chong and Han. They're like, doesn't exist anymore.
Wait, what is Han?
It's like anger, isn't it?
It's like, you know better.
Like
It's a sediment. It's an inside joke for our listeners. No, I think it's like unresolved kind of
Yeah,
bitterness
yeah.
of the past wrongs. And yeah, I do think it drives a lot in modern society. But I think modern Koreans don't like to think about it. It's like, oh, let the past be the past. Like, don't hold on to that and blame everything on that.
Do you really think that Korean people have Chong?
I think so.
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah,
do?
like towards each other. Yeah.
Old people, they do.
Wow.
June, what I would say too is like,
And I do.
do you see how quickly we can like be friends and close?
I know, I feel
Koreans
that
can be
too.
that way too.
Not to this.
Not to each other,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like,
Really?
They'll still have like this, like kind of screening face. Yeah.
I think this might not be right, but June, correct me if I want to hear your thoughts after. I think Chong in modern Korea is mostly associated with, oh, like you owe me something because we know each other. Like I did this for you, now you have to do something for me. Or like honestly, the way your manager acted was like, oh, I thought we were tight.
Yeah.
That's like Chong.
Yeah.
But now that you did that to me, like it's over.
Yes.
There's no Chong. And so I think Korean American Chong's not like that. It's like there's no expectation of something in return. It's like, hey, we're this like we have a familiarity with each other just because we're both Korean American, right? We're Korean in the US. And so we feel this closest. I'm already thinking of all the things I can do for you guys just by virtue. We just met, right? But I still want to do that for you.
Wow.
In modern Korea, that doesn't exist. And it's almost like, well, don't do anything for me because I don't want to do anything back for you.
It has to do a lot with how competitive the society has become.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're not allies anymore. Like you're competitors. So why would you like do a good deed for you without like having something in return?
Or it's always strings attached.
yeah.
I
But
see.
is that right, Jun? Like, do you feel like most people in Korea, modern Korea, associate Jung with that negative stuff? Like, oh, I have to do that now because they did this, or I don't know, we were in army together, so I have to be able to do this for them.
That there is that sentiment, but we don't associate that with the concept of Chong. Though.
Oh,
it's not.
okay.
It's just a thing that you have to. Yeah.
Wow.
I thought
didn't
that was
know.
Jung. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that Chong was not a thing anymore. Like,
Yeah, it's not.
All Korean Americans are shocked.
yeah. I think in that way too, maybe we're kind of like in our own little time capsule too, like where we get these ideas from like our parents
Yeah,
or like our
totally.
grandparents.
Yeah.
But I have no idea what like the modern Korean thinks like.
Yeah. I just think it's overly branded almost. Like there is like a sense of friendliness and friendship in Korea, but I don't think it's any different from anyone.
Wait, say that again, Jun. Like, you feel with a random Korean stranger now. What do you feel at all as far as closeness?
Nothing, zero.
Zero.
Nothing, yeah.
So there's no Jung. Yeah, Jung 없어.
Well, Chong is not something that you feel particularly to a stranger though.
Wait, but I want to hear your understanding of Jung in like a Korean American context.
Go ahead. You know what though? Now that you say it, I do feel like it is overbranded a little bit. Maybe
Yeah,
it's
it
for
is
me,
over-
it's just like a feeling. I don't
Yeah.
know. You just
But
get
sorry,
like a
describe
feeling.
that feeling because I'm curious what your takes on.
I
it.
think for her, it's kind of like how she looks. She romanticizes Paris. It's like that kind of similar vibe with the motherland.
Yes.
You know, she just comes home and she sees ajumas and you know, people
strangers.
Yeah. Exactly.
Strangers. What, is that for you too?
I mean, I don't feel that.
You don't have Chong? You don't think Koreans have Chong?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Maybe
if you meet a random Korean American in the U.S., you don't feel like a willingness to do something for them outside of the, you know, closest in the relationship.
Oh, well.
And that's at least how I think about Chong.
Yeah. No, I mean, for sure there is that.
Oh.
Yeah. I thought you were asking more what I thought about Koreans.
Oh, here.
Non-existent.
Yeah.
So Jun, here's my Korean American backup.
3-1.
Well, I mean, you know, because you're Korean.
Yeah.
You like know other Koreans too. So
Maybe it's because like modern day Koreans are a bit bitter about the current circumstances of what society is like. So it's like, oh, there's no Chong anymore. Like, don't even talk about it, kind of. But I do think I still stand by my point that it's kind of overly branded. Because like,
that's true. We all defined it a little differently, right?
Like, if you have like Latino friends, don't you think that they have Chong?
For each other,
Or like for like humanity in general? No.
Well, David always says he thinks Mexican or Latinos and Koreans share a lot of similarities.
Yeah, older school Koreans, I think, jive a lot with that Mexican like family first,
exactly.
right? Like we're all in it together. Look out for each other.
That's kind of like Chong, isn't it?
I agree. Yeah, there's none of that in Korea.
Wow.
I literally feel like white people have more Chong than modern Koreans. Is it not like small talking in the elevator and like, I don't know,
common courtesy, just helping out, like doing what's right?
I guess for me, that seems more fake. And like Koreans, even though, like you might not like extend that to like a stranger, once you're in the circle, it's tight. You have that Chong for each other. I guess so. For me, the Chong definition is more for like, not like 완전 strangers, but like people who are in your circle.
It's true.
Yeah.
But there's no one in your circle here, though.
My grandparents.
Yeah. Oh, that too? I thought you were talking about just like
friends?
Yeah. Or the most common example is, you know, waitresses.
Oh.
Where you always said that, there's so much.
That's
Chong.
true. That's true.
That's a stranger. There's
right.
Chong there, right?
Yeah.
I would always say like in Busan, you know, maybe they feel a little bit more.
You do.
Like that hominess. Yeah, the warmth. But
interesting.
I can see Jun's Korean mind, like Korean Americans are so
Wait, but I have a question. Do you think Koreans would get offended if you say like, Koreans have no Chong anymore? Or it's a common thing?
I don't think they'd be.
It's pretty ubiquitously understood.
Yeah.
That's shocking.
I assure you, they'll be like, we don't have.
We don't Chong.
Wow.
What is Chong anyways?
What about like pride? Because I know Korean people have a lot of pride for their country, right? Like, isn't that kind of related to Chong? Because like people
Korean
are like,
pride in Chong.
우리나라는, our country, like our people, we do this, we do that, and like we.
Oh, they take pride in Chong.
Yeah.
Okay. That I could see. Yeah.
They do. I think modern day Korea, they take pride in like economic status and like
those
prosperity
suckers, like,
and stuff like that.
Don't they know their friends are their competition?
It's more of like arrogance than pride, I think.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, cockiness almost.
It makes me kind of sad.
Korea's, I agree. I think it's become a very isolated society.
Yeah.
And you see that reflected in a lot of statistics. But because the core thing is Korea's so competitive from a young age, right? Like even in class, you're ranked 1 to whatever.
It's all about
where
the
you're
rank.
ranking,
Yeah.
and who's going to go into what college because it is zero sum. If I get into that college, that means someone else cannot. Extends to the workforce, right? Extends to money, extends to housing lottery.
Yeah.
Like you have to get lucky to get the house and you're competing against everyone else in the lottery.
Wow.
It just extends till death. And I think it's really sad.
Yeah, I learned on this trip that there is a ranking system in work too.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Everything's just tiered. I think it's more because it's because it's combined with the competitiveness and then
Fairness, is that what you're
fairness
saying?
and then the fact that we're all very similar.
Homogeneity.
So then you have to have certain tiers.
I see.
And every time I like scroll down my Instagram feed, I don't know why. Maybe it's because I resonate more to this content. But like there's tiers for everything. Like let's say like tiers for like watches, and it's like Omega, like Rolex or whatever,
Yeah.
like tiers for like jobs.
Yeah.
Like these are the tiers
Yeah.
for like luxury brands or whatever. And like I think Korean people are really into like tiers. Even
Wow.
they're like literally they're non-existent, but they like force make tiers
Yeah.
to classify you into certain categories to see if I'm at certain tiers and I want to go up. Yeah.
What's like the perception of Koreans of old people? Because before we came, actually, we heard of some cafes not allowing certain ages.
Like elders.
Yeah, elders.
I wonder if that's bigger news in the international media than it is in Korea. Like, Jun, did you see that as a big headline and like controversial?
Yeah, I think the older generation grew up in a very it's just because of the pace of the economic growth of Korea, the circumstances of their lives and living, it was so different compared to the older generation and now. And for the older generation, it was just all about hustling, right?
Yeah.
Trying to make
Yeah.
it. And so it's like it's less about like sometimes I feel it too. They're not aware of their surroundings, and like even like in the subway, you see old people just like they don't care about what the line is.
Yeah.
And my immediate reaction, of course, is like I'm like annoyed at first, but then I try to understand because like that kind of social order wasn't really important,
Yeah.
and it was just like you trying to like make it and like survive basically. So I think there's like a very different mentality. But because of this, there's always this like misunderstanding 오해 of like oh, old people are so annoying.
Yeah.
And on top of that, there's this like political stance divide where like the old people are very conservative and like young people. And now it's like the younger people are conservative and like the middle 30s to 40s are more liberal. So there's like all like these stereotypes and stigmas towards old people. So there is this like traditional like 예절, we have to like be good to the elderly, but it's like less so than before, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say also, if you imagine, I'll use social security as an example, right? You're always paying for the older generations because you expect when you're old too, you'll get that from the younger generation.
Right.
Yeah.
But imagine being that generation of Korean that's old now. They did everything for their parents and grandparents. They lived together, sacrificed, gave them money, took care of them.
Yeah.
And now they see the younger generation not giving two about their life, right?
Yeah.
We'll cut that out. But they don't care about them. And it's like,
Yeah.
wait. This is a raw deal. Like, imagine, you guys are still a little young, but imagine paying into Social Security your whole life. And then you're 65, you retire, and it gets cut off. That ain't right. Something's going to give there. And I think that I can at least empathize and understand. And actually, Social Security is a good example, right? Because it literally is like their social safety net was supposed to be their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not true anymore, right? I think a lot of modern day Koreans, maybe our age, they're so annoyed. They're like, why do I have this burden? Like, they don't really take care or maybe think about their parents as much as they did for theirs. So anyway, that's just like how I think about it. It's like quite
Wow.
sad to be in that generation in Korea right now. Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the mannerism in which how you socialize is very different. Like for instance, old people, they meet in subways and they just do small talk, which is
Yeah.
very foreign in modern day Korea. And like how, you know how like cab drivers, they tend to like talk to you a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that's like very old school Korean way of socializing. Whereas like in modern day Korea, that doesn't exist, and that almost like comes off as like very like annoying and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Even my parents, right? Sometimes when I like visit Japan, it's like these are types of things that I never understand about my parents' generation. He's like, my friend lives in Tokyo. Why don't you meet him? I'm like,
Why would I meet him?
I don't know this person, right? But
That's
I
Chong.
think that is Chong. That is
Yeah.
Chong. But like that kind of social interaction is like very non-existent right now, and
Yeah.
it creates a lot of misunderstandings, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I've had my fair share of bad encounters with old guys on the subways.
He's so angry all the time in
no.
subways.
Gosh.
I'm like, David, just understand. You know, they're old. You have to be the one to understand. He's like, no, if one more person pushes me, I'm pushing them back.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
I've had bad interactions too. Yeah.
Yeah, we had one where we were together.
what happened?
That was so sunat. That was so mild, June.
That was a snub
I've gotten
mat.
so like,
Really?
this is horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, one time we were talking in the subway, like so we were standing, right?
Yeah.
And the person who was sitting
It was an ajima in this case.
right in front of us. And so we were talking in English, I
English.
guess. Yeah. And you know how like Korean people sometimes they don't like people speaking in English?
Yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard
yeah.
of that.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
And so I think this lady felt that, right? Or like maybe we're a bit a bit louder
Loud?
than your average
we were
Korean.
quiet than your average American, but yeah, maybe a little louder than your average Korean.
Korean.
And then as she was leaving, like getting off, she was like, what did she say?
Oh, she like brushes us into us.
Yeah.
It's like or like, oh, my ears are
귀가
burning.
따가워, like,
Oh, 시끄러워. Oh, I couldn't hear anything. Like, you guys are so loud.
yeah.
Oh.
But dude, that's cinema. Like, if I told you some real stories, it's bad.
Yeah.
That's my worst nightmare. See, like I don't want to be a nuisance to anybody. So like whenever we're in the subway, I always make sure like we talk quietly.
It's the loudest person I know.
Not on the Korean subway.
Sometimes
Well, she
I'm
still
not
is
aware.
sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes I'm not aware, but a lot of times I try to, because we are visiting
Yeah.
this country, and like
Yeah.
I don't want to stick out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
But I think the American thing of like, at least for me, I don't know. Maybe I'm older, been living here, but I can like chama it. Like,
Yeah.
It doesn't really bother me. Sometimes I get triggered.
Yeah.
But I think the American psyche is just like, no, I'm not gonna take that. Like,
Yeah.
who are you? I'm gonna stand up for myself, right?
Even if you're older, I don't care.
Yeah, in general, like you
Yeah.
gotta take care of yourself in America, otherwise you'll get run over by other people. Whereas then I think in Korea, that's you have to chama it more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow, so fascinating. These conversations are so interesting to me.
So, yeah, because
Okay.
you guys are leaving pretty soon.
Yeah.
What would be the number one thing that you're dreading or like very expecting to do first upon arrival to the States?
Dreading or like looking forward?
Looking forward to.
Oh, looking
yeah.
forward to in America.
I got a whole list.
Oh, there's so
Wait,
many.
let me guess. Mexican food.
Oh,
Of course.
good guess.
For you, I don't know. Catch up with friends over.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Okay,
For
okay.
sure, friends. I miss my friends so much. That's like one of the top reasons why I want to go home so badly. But surprisingly, like we love the public transportation
so
system
good,
here.
yeah.
We love it so much. But I feel like, especially where we live in the valley, everything's much bigger.
Yeah.
And like you
Space.
have to drive everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
you can't walk. There's no way. But I kind of miss that. I miss like the big space and
Yeah.
like driving around. But I'll definitely miss the public transportation, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What will I miss? Public transport for sure. What else? Like just the convenience of having, convenience stores everywhere.
Yeah.
China jumps are it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
walking. Yeah, the walkability. Yeah, like she said, we don't have that in LA. But things I'm looking forward to: salty snacks.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh!
yes.
All the Korean snacks are so sweet.
Dude.
I
Oh
love
yeah,
it.
Daniel puts it perfectly.
Yeah, what?
Korean food is too
sweet, and
the
desserts are not
are not
sweet
too
enough.
sweet.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, our first episode was about how much I hate Korean Doritos. They're
Oh,
nasty.
they sell Korean Doritos, Korean Cheetos.
Tastes like cardboard. Yeah, it's
So
awful.
bad,
Yeah.
so bad. So yeah, salty snack. The only thing salty in Korea is like the toothpaste. The salt toothpaste.
The menthol. like,
Yeah. That's funny.
It's
Yeah.
getting better though. You can find more American snacks. So I have access to like the commissary, so U.S. supermarkets on army bases.
I heard that
So I'm
episode.
not that desperate.
Yeah.
But
You have hot Cheetos?
yeah, they have the flaming hot. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
But actually, Korean grocery stores too. They're carrying more and more saltier snacks.
Yeah.
Anyway. There's some good flavors here though. Before you go, you should try like Lay's truffle or Lay's seaweed, like the Kim flavor.
Oh,
It's
okay.
legit. It's pretty good. Yeah, you won't
see
find
that.
that in America.
Yeah.
Because he's a huge chip lover.
Oh yeah.
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 Try the Kim flavored.
They'll just be at any
Lay's.
편의점?
편의점, no. You have to go to like a legit supermarket with more in stock. Yeah.
Got it.
Are there any Korean snacks that you like?
Yes. What is it called? Kobuk chip?
Oh, 꼬북
Oh,
chip.
oh, those
I
are
love
good.
the,
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
chocolate
The
one.
chocolate
one.
The
They
chocolate
They have a
ones.
new flavor too.
The
Try
caramel popcorn.
Is that
I haven't
good?
tried
It's
that.
so good.
It's
You have the
good.
churro flavors. You try that?
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Churros.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah.
Churros.
I like that, and like korebap is, it's a little
Classic.
as close to salty as you'll get. It has some spice. That's about it. I don't.
Yeah.
Oh, binches. I like binches.
Oh, Binge is so good.
Dude, bitch is so good.
Oh, the
Kimchi-
chocolate
Yeah.
one,
Yeah,
the thin
yeah.
one.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
binche.
Binche.
I could
Those are
easily
classics.
kill that like in one sitting.
You know our thing? Guys, take this back to the US. And camping, it's aligned with that. Oh, we got to get to that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But it's literally tailor-made for s'mores. So it's like already has the chocolate and graham cracker built in.
Oh, that's
Oh.
true.
Put a marshmallow and you have a s'more.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see.
I never
Anyway.
thought about that.
I haven't seen it marketed this way, but
Yeah.
it's brilliant.
It's
yeah.
genius.
But yeah, Mexican food for sure.
What we're looking forward to, right?
Yeah, if this becomes a real, there's no good Mexican food in Korea. Anywhere. we've tried all of them, right?
Yeah.
I realized I've been here too long because I'm like, it's all right. Like,
Yeah.
I would say.
but at first I was like, oh, I hate it.
Yeah. For every category of Western food, at least that we've tried and looked for, it's enough to scratch the itch, but it's not there. Yeah.
I think the best type of Western food that you can find in Korea are like the European, like French
Like
or
pasta?
Italian. If you go
Yes.
to like the high end, like
I actually agree with
fine
that.
dining.
Yes.
We've had good pasta.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I
Pizza,
miss.
burgers, wings,
Kinda weak.
Mexican food. Yeah, we haven't found it.
You can find some decent burger and pizza, I think, now.
Okay.
Because like
Yeah.
literally they have the American brands now here, right? Five Guys.
Oh, that too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
Brooklyn is decent, and then
Brooklyn.
for burgers, and then
Yeah.
Jackson Pizza I like.
Oh, I heard about
Have you had
that.
it?
We've
Oh,
heard
We
of
heard
it.
It's
about
like
it.
pretty American style.
Yeah.
Salty.
I think the most American style pizza you can get is in Costco.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we went to
we actually
Costco.
really liked it because in America, they don't have combo anymore.
I know. It's a
Yeah.
travesty. They
Yeah.
got rid of
What
it.
do they
Bulgogi
have?
pizza has all the combo
Yeah, yeah,
ingredients,
yeah.
basically.
It's a travesty.
Loved it.
Yeah.
It's only cheese and pepperoni in America now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got rid of it during COVID.
You should get
and
the bulgogi bake.
We got
did.
that.
You got that.
Yeah.
That
So we got
one?
a whole
what did you
spread.
think? Yeah.
It's so much
So
better.
Oh, okay,
good.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like overrated, but
Really?
yeah. It's just fun for the novelty.
Yeah.
But I don't get it anymore.
The
I
first
see.
bite was the best, but then as you go, it's a
Oh,
little
yeah,
bit heavy.
yeah.
But
Too
it's
sweet
super
also.
bulgogi bake.
Yeah.
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 We're gonna
Bulgogi
do
is
Costco.
bulgogi is a sweet.
Bulgogi is a sweet food.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I love Costco in Korea.
It's very different.
Yeah, I love
The
it.
pre-made meals. Did you guys walk by that area?
Uh-huh.
That's
Yeah.
it. There's
Where
so
where
much.
they have the French.
Oh, yes.
I
yes.
love it. Yeah.
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 Do they have the shishik in American Costco?
They do now. Yeah.
Oh, they do.
What's
They
shishik?
started.
Yeah, what's shishik?
Like
like,
sample,
yeah,
giving out
sampling.
samples.
Yeah.
Wait, you're saying they started having them in America?
Maybe like because of COVID they shut it down.
Oh, they brought it back.
yeah,
Okay,
they
okay.
brought it back.
I like Costco shishik because they're so generous. Oh, do you know about the Costco onion thing
No.
in Korea?
Korean kimchi.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you know about it.
yeah.
What is that?
You know.
There was an era where like you know how they have diced onions for the hot dogs, but for some reason Korean people like knew how to hack that and then like bring as much as onion as you want and put ketchup and mustard together, mix it up, and eat it
It's
as
like
like
a salsa type thing, but yeah, like
yeah, it's like a
kimchi.
kimchi
type flavor.
and it became a problem, so they took it
Oh,
away.
shoot. Oh my god.
Now they hand you the like one thing
Little
of onion per hot
I saw
dog.
that.
Yeah.
I was so shocked when I saw my mom do it. Mom, you used to live in America.
That's so funny because that's something only Koreans would do.
Yeah.
Would ever
Very
do,
like
yeah.
resourceful.
Yeah,
yeah.
So funny.
It's like when Koreans eat pho
Yeah.
in America. They always do that too with the sliced onions.
Oh,
You
like they put it all
hoisin
in.
and sriracha, and you make like
It's their kimchi.
Yeah,
it's
it's
a
their
side
kimchi.
dish.
Ah,
Yeah.
I've never seen that, but you're right. I can imagine.
It's
Yeah.
really good.
Anyway, side note though, every time I go to Costco, I always get the hot dog combo, and the mustard in Korea, it looks like normal mustard, so I'm like not even thinking about it. Put it on, and then my first bite, I'm like, what have I done? Because it's so sweet. It's like honey mustard.
Oh, all the mustard in Korea are honey
It is
mustard.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Like that does not belong on my hot dog,
Interesting.
Jun.
Yeah.
And so I'm always like, "Oh, every time, like come on. But it's like so in my mind, and it looks like the right shade of yellow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tricks me anyway.
Oof.
Small thing.
We got today too. We got bagels.
Yeah.
The original
Oh,
cream
no.
cheese had a lot of sugar in it. It was crazy.
Yeah.
He's like, what is that?
Oh,
That's
even
not
the
cream
normal
cheese.
cream cheese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a regular cream cheese.
Gross. I hate it.
Have you tried the London
Yes.
We-
bagel?
We
Yeah.
literally went there like 4 times because we had friends come visit.
Everyone
and
wants
everyone
to
wants
go
to
to
try
take
it.
it.
Yeah.
I like it. It's
Yeah.
good.
That's good.
I think it's like just a different genre of bagels. It's
Yeah, I feel
very
like the
soft.
bagel. Yeah, they're not. It doesn't have the chew, which
Yeah.
is so important in a
Yeah.
bagel. But
Oh, really? I think it's too soft, right? Like it doesn't
Yeah.
press as well.
It's doughy.
Too doughy.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
But I think relative to other Korean bagels, it's more Western style.
Oh.
Yeah.
But not quite fully there.
I like
Yeah,
it as
exactly.
its own genre.
Me too.
Yeah. So that's the thing I've had to reacclimate my mind to. Like Paris baguette or like whatever. I'm like, it's not a French pastry shop or bakery.
Yeah.
But Jun's always like, don't think of it that way. It's just its own genre of
Yeah.
like French Korean. Like just
Yeah.
think of it that way.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, I can enjoy it because I'm not comparing it
Yeah.
to anything else.
Yeah.
Whether it's Korean pizza, Korean baked goods, whatever.
I always say because there are two streams of pastry in the world,
Mm-hmm.
which is like one is European and one is Japanese.
Oh.
And I think it's a very different genre. Like you wouldn't find like Paris baguette style pastries and bread in like some European or American bakery, right? So
Right.
it's like Like I used to go to Chinatown when I was in Boston to get like those type of Asian pastries
Yeah.
with like the red beans and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I think it's just a different genre.
Yeah.
for sure.
Even for
Except
pizza,
except Mexican. That one's just wrong.
I don't think it's been prevalent enough to become its own genre.
Yeah.
I think
Have you guys been to Taqueria Stan?
I've
open
heard
anymore.
about it.
That was the best one that I've
In
had.
Korea?
It was at one point in Pangyo Hyunbaek.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
a
really?
pop-up. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it's closed
yeah.
now?
Yeah.
They don't have it?
Which is,
That was not bad.
yeah, it just goes to show like it's not the Korean people haven't
The palate.
the palate. It didn't match yet.
Yeah.
No, but
But
when Koreans
we'll
come
get there.
to America, they go crazy over like Mexican food.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know why they don't. There's
Yeah.
not more legit Mexican places here.
Yeah.
I think they would like it.
Yeah.
Cool.
I have a question for you, Jun. So, you guys can attest to this. In America, Korean food or like Korean fusion is blowing up. Like they're putting kimchi on everything, right? Like how do Koreans, how do they feel about it? And do you think they'd enjoy that food? Or is it still, let's say, too salty? Because the base is salty, right? But you're adding kimchi, you're adding gochujang, like soy, anything, right?
Yeah.
I think Korean people are generally, I mean, they would be proud about like Korean culture,
Yeah.
like food and everything, infiltrating to America.
But do you think they would like it?
In terms of taste.
So last time I went to SF,
Yeah.
I forgot the name. They're famous for like their kimchi burritos or whatever.
Okay.
Oh.
I thought it was good.
Okay.
Yeah. And I know this is a general understanding of Koreans. Korean food, not like the fusion ones, the Korean food in America is better than the Korean food here.
Oh.
It's just saltier, but you like that, I think.
Yeah. You don't agree, Janice?
People do say that, but I don't agree.
Like beef was like beef.
Specifically, like beef barbecue in the U.S., it's
Okay,
more
yeah.
affordable, and I think it's better.
For sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
the
true.
cut's better, everything's
Yeah.
better.
Like BCD
Yeah.
is like your go-to
sundubu.
for Korean people when they visit this,
LA.
Yeah.
I will say
That's
LA
true, too.
has a lot, like all of the Korean restaurants in LA, most of them are really good.
Yeah.
But I still think the taste wise in Korea, like Korean restaurants are still.
Better.
I would say
It's
one thing I
different.
noticed is the banchan quality here
Yeah.
is way better.
Oh,
Really?
better.
Way better.
I liked a lot of
Oh,
places we went
interesting.
to. You don't think so?
I feel like the Korean restaurants in America are more generous with
They
their
are more
banchan.
with the
Oh.
The
portions.
options, how much you get.
That's
Yeah.
true.
It's not hichana when you ask for a
He
refill.
eats a lot. That's
I eat a lot, dude. And as I get older, all I want is banchan and like
Yeah.
namor and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it's hard to find that in Korea, and when you do, it's expensive. Dude, like the banchan gages here, like they're so expensive
yeah.
from what I'm thinking. Like I'm not gonna pay anyway. I feel like in America, it's more accessible and affordable.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Oh yeah. On the flip side, we'll talk about things we'll miss, right?
Yeah.
So no tip.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just the level of quality for the price and stuff over here.
yeah.
is so
Gasongbi,
good.
my favorite
Gasongbi.
term. Yeah.
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 And then the pork here is just
So,
So
good.
good.
yeah,
And affordable.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say this. You guys call it gangchus.
Oh, yeah. Gangchu.
yeah.
These
So
are the
Gangchu.
gangchus of Korea.
it's like a strong recommendation.
Oh, is
it's
that
like
a
their
term?
thing in their podcast.
Gangchu, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 강한 추천.
Yeah.
Yes.
강력 추천.
Yeah.
The same thing. 강한,
Okay,
강력.
okay.
Yeah.
Jun, do Koreans use that term? Gangchu?
Yeah, gangchu.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, definitely like the cost of living.
Yeah.
Like I put this on my story yesterday, but we literally ate out breakfast, coffee, lunch, dinner yesterday, and grand total was $45.
yeah.
45 US dollars. I mean, the dollar is very strong right
It
now.
is, it is, yeah.
But
That would be
like,
one meal.
That's insane.
Yeah, with
Tax
tax
and
tip,
tip.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
one
Delivery
meal.
free if you're getting delivered.
Oh, we never get delivery.
Yeah.
That's why I'm always cooking at home because it's just way too expensive to
you
deliver.
mean in the US you don't?
Yeah. And in the US, we're always cooking at home because delivery is way too expensive. You go out, it's like $100,
Yeah.
like close to $100 per meal. So I'm definitely gonna miss that. No tip.
This
Yeah.
is why we don't cook at home in Korea anymore.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's literally cheaper to order
Yeah.
in every time.
That's what we're
noticed that
saying.
too.
Yeah.
We like feel slight guilt over the plastics and all
Yes.
the waste, but it's like, it's just so cheap and convenient.
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I think again, like for me, like the cleanliness of the city, and then I mean, some parts it tastes like it smells like sewer, but it's fine. It's
Soul
like,
smell, I call it soul smell.
Yeah,
Oh
soul
yeah. he talks about it a lot. I don't really
You don't
know
know?
what that it means. Yeah.
Oh, is there a Korean term for old man smell?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's bad
We've
this
been
time
noticing
around.
that a lot this trip.
Yeah, 노인 냄새 is
Oh.
just
Yeah.
like literally translation.
Well, I don't think I know that smell.
You don't know that smell?
No.
I
It's, like, it's not Tiger Balm or
I
yeah,
heard.
it's not pasta.
That's
No.
what I heard. it comes from the ears.
The ears?
They don't wash.
It's like the hormone thing.
Oh, I
So
can
they,
see
they
that.
say that you should clean your ear very
Yeah.
diligently.
Because
Yeah.
before, it's like when I smell it,
Yeah.
it reminds me of my grandparents. But
Yeah.
at my grandparents' house, it's very faint.
Subtle
Yeah.
smell.
But here, I was just like getting smacked in the face. It's,
That's so interesting. I have to look out for it.
yeah.
Definitely not gonna miss that.
Yeah. I'll miss that.
And then I'll miss the safety of everything too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so dangerous in America. It's scary. So,
Yeah.
I mean, overall, I personally like Korea better than America. So there's going to be a lot of things that I'm going to miss. But America's home for us. So that's why it's like I have to go
Yeah.
back. Yeah.
Well, perfect transition. Would you ever consider living in Korea, let's say for a season or even for long term? And like, what would that take for you guys?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, for sure. What would that take? I think like jobs for sure. Like my job would have, if I could find a job that's like more flexible in terms of time where I don't have to wake up at 2 a.m. to match like Pacific time, then I could see myself living in Korea, especially like raising kids. And like, you know, there's so many friends who come and go, like visit Korea all the time. So I feel like we wouldn't feel so lonely. I'm sure there will be lonely seasons.
Yeah.
But
Even if it's a Korean company.
I wouldn't want to work for a Korean company though. Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah. I would too.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to actually. Because, yeah, I want to get better at Korean. And I just love learning more about food culture in Korea too. So I totally would. Depends on the job, of course. But yeah,
So
if
just
it
job
made
primarily.
money, or made sense money wise, then I would love to.
It'd be great if we could make US dollars, US salary living in Korea.
Yeah. That's the expat dream.
Yeah.
What was I going to say?
Doesn't Coupang do that?
They do.
They do?
It
Yeah.
used to be quite common, but I think they now are. It's only for very senior positions.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's much harder to
Yeah.
get.
We know someone there. Oof.
What was I
Living the
gonna say?
life.
Yeah. It's
Really
very good.
I used to I used to work for Coupang.
Oh, really?
There's a
But not on an expat package.
not
yeah.
on it. Of course not, because I'm not an expat. But like there's internally there's like this caste system.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Koreans are at the bottom.
At the
my
bottom,
God.
yeah. And then it's the Korean Americans, and then it's like
the
the
full
white.
Westerners.
Yeah.
Oh, no, wait, where did you fall then? Because you know how to speak English really well.
I would say like still like
The upper end
lowest.
of Korea.
Oh, that's so sad.
Best house
It
in the
really
bad
is sad.
neighborhood.
Oh.
Yeah, so David, June first like found out about you through your reels around dehydrating.
Yeah, even before we met today.
Yeah.
I already knew about you guys because your content came up on my feed, and very famously, he freeze dries Korean food or like other foods too,
Yeah.
and then make it into like you said MRE
Yeah.
for like hiking or like
What's MRE? Meal ready.
Meal ready to eat. Yeah.
Okay.
It's like an army food type of thing.
yeah, it's so amazing. You just pour hot water and it becomes comes back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I love backpacking, and the food options are very limited. It's it's like stroganoffs or chili mac, that kind of thing. And it's kind of good when you first have it, but once you've gone, it gets really old,
Heavy.
heavy, like really salty and just not good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to start taking my own food, and then basically right when I was preparing for one of my trips, I got laid off.
Yeah.
So I started just sharing videos about my preparation because I thought it was interesting. And then it kind of just caught on, and that became like my thing. So people online, they started calling me dehydrated guy and stuff, which I don't love.
You're the opposite of a hydro homie. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm just always experimenting, and then I'm trying to bring it to the masses if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kimchi jjigae in backpacking meal form, hopefully next year.
Hopefully
Hopefully
we can.
here.
Yeah, you can put your products here.
That'll be cool. Actually, next time we come, I will have something.
Oh, you'll have samples.
Yeah, I should bring you guys
Oh,
some.
yeah.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of potential possibilities with your thing. Like the branding could be like really interesting.
Yeah.
With like all the hype in Korean food and whatnot. Yeah, it would
Exactly.
be perfect.
Okay, what do you guys think about the name?
Wait, you
It's-
want to reveal the name? They're a big podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, you have a name?
Well, yeah, that's what I was kind of waiting on. Well, yeah, but then I wanted to wait till January.
Wait, this is a worldwide reveal of your
It
name
is.
on
It is.
world
Well, hopefully
premiere.
I'll drop a
exclusive
reel.
to Korean American podcast.
Let me know before you guys post this. I need to get my reel out too, announcing it, but it's Pop Pack.
Oh,
Pop
like
pack.
backpack.
It's like backpack. It's
Pop
like
pack.
pop.
Oh.
And it's pop in a pack.
Yeah.
It's not just right. You know, pop is generally
Yeah.
food.
I like it.
I like
That's
it
what it
too.
is.
Pop pack.
Yeah.
BAP.
Pack.
BAP.
PACK.
Yeah, I didn't want to do BOP because there's like, you know,
Bop
cup
pack.
bop.
Bop.
Cup bop.
Pop
Are there
I
two
prefer-
P's or one P?
Two P's.
Two P's.
It's like two words.
Pop pack.
pack.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
it
like
sticks
it.
in a
Yeah,
Korean
yeah, yeah.
Korean mind. Yeah.
Sticks, ricey,
Yeah.
sticky, and stuff.
팝팩 몇 개 챙겨가자.
Oh.
That's the goal. So I'll bring some next time
Yeah.
in
Nice.
2 months when we're back.
Very
But
cool.
hopefully it goes well.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be in the American market first,
Yeah.
and then because Korean is like a whole other
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We'll see how it does, but that's his big passion project these days.
Yeah.
Actually, if it wasn't for that, I would be happy staying here longer. Yeah, it's just because I'm antsy to get home and start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really need to get back.
Oh, super excited.
Yeah.
He
Believe the
uses like their harmony's recipe and dries it too. I saw like the 동치미 thing.
Oh, yeah.
My
That
grandma's.
was amazing too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been hiking in Korea, and how does it compare to?
We only hiked in the beginning when it wasn't cold. And it's like pros and cons because
Yeah.
the mountains are much smaller,
Yeah.
but the trails are so well kept.
Yeah,
With like,
yeah.
you know, the straw hatch thing
Yeah.
that they have is amazing.
Yeah, they really are.
Yeah, and then there's like a restaurant thingy at the bottom.
bottom,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Everything
good.
was
Yeah.
great.
It's a whole experience.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. So my original plan was to come and, you know, make dehydrated food and take it up and cook it and stuff, but I didn't know you can't have stoves in Korean mountains.
It's like a fire hazard.
Yeah.
Can't you bring like your thermo?
Yeah, a thermos of just hot water. Yeah, you could. But it's sometimes like it's not enough.
It's not hot
Yeah.
enough?
Yeah,
Oh.
to
I
cook
see.
it. Yeah, but
We did
overall-
that once at a Korean baseball game. Like snuck in bowl ram, like cup nameon,
We don't
in
have
a
to
thermos.
Yeah, we don't have to sneak it in either.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
like it's fine. There's
Uh-huh.
nothing against it. Yeah, and you just
Oh.
like make cup nameon at your chair. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Genius.
oh yeah,
Anyway,
So it has to be boiling like 100.
it's better for most. I think for the like kimchi jjigae, it's fine because
Yeah.
the stew will kind of turn to a powder. But certain things like noodles or meat, it's a
Oh, I
little
see.
bit more. It
Makes
needs
sense.
hotter water to rehydrate. Yeah, fully at least. Yeah.
Cool.
how did the in and out dehydration rehydration experiment go? Because you did it, but yeah, explain.
I think if I did it again, I could do it and make it good.
Yeah.
But it was a complete fail.
What did you do though? What happened?
Because I ordered a In-N-Out burger and then I deconstructed it myself. But there's spread on the bun that got soaked in, and then cheese on the patties that got soaked in. So I would just get everything separate
Yeah.
and then bring spread on the side myself. And I think it would actually turn out okay.
Okay.
Yeah. But it was all mixed together and then it didn't turn out good.
Dude, you should do like a reverse thing where you bring like something Korean and do the same thing.
Oh,
London Museum.
Oh, what would be good?
Oh, London Museum Bagel. Something very Korean.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's so there's not much that's hard to get in the U.S. now. There's H Marts everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like,
Smart, yeah.
Korean culture is so prevalent.
Yeah.
and especially in the cities
Yeah.
now in the U.S.
What do you guys think about
What a-
Korean gochugaru and myeolchi compared to America?
Oh, I've never had
I
American.
think that's a very like chef type question.
Wait, is there
No, because-
American gochugaru?
Yeah, but her mom actually I
No.
would say most Korean Americans they swear by Korean gochugaru.
Well, of course they will.
Yeah.
But do you think a blind taste test they could tell?
No, I don't think so.
It's just like a like
we
the
should
what?
try it.
Yeah, I really
should try it.
well. It's not like American gochugaru. It's
Yeah.
more like
Korean
just-
branded.
yeah, imported.
Korean.
It's like a Korean pride thing, I think. It's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
the what is
But
it?
I do think like 아줌mas or like jubus in general are very particular with their gochugaru
Yeah.
Yeah.
and 참기름.
yeah,
Oh, yes.
참기름
They
bottles
get
of
it from like their local
Yeah.
방앗간.
Yeah.
Those are the three things that her mom brings back in suitcases.
Yeah.
멸치,
고춧가루.
고춧가루, and
I don't know about
들기름
멸치
or
or gochugaru, but the 참기름 tastes
You can
different.
tell?
different. Yeah,
From like
I
a
agree.
store bought, like the otugi one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus like when you actually get a good one.
Yeah,
Oh, and
Yeah.
kim too, actually.
Kim.
Actually, kim here is really good.
it is good.
Oh, you should bring because they're like in cans right now.
Kim?
I've
Yeah,
never seen that.
They're
Yeah.
canned
What?
kims. No, I'm just I have some ingredients.
What's
Yeah.
that term for? Is it 국산 or something?
국산, yeah.
I feel like that's maybe more of it.
Yeah.
It's like our product.
Right, right.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 2 hours.
What? Dang, it's the longest podcast I've ever recorded in my life.
Yeah.
Sick. Thank you guys for having us.
I know. That was
June
fun.
for opening up your home.
I know.
Oh, my pleasure.
So
No,
nice.
Thank you so much for being on. It was fun. All right, so let's wrap up for today. As always, if you'd like to support our podcast, the best thing you can do is share us with your friends or colleagues who you think might be interested in our content. The other thing you can do is support us on Patreon. For the minimum tier of $1, you too can get access to our Discord, where you can connect with other members, discuss our episodes, and suggest future episode topics, of which at least like 5 have come from Discord. So yeah, if you want us to talk about something, let us know.
Yeah. And please subscribe to HoneyJam podcast.
Yes. So can you guys
Like and
plug
subscribe.
your whatever socials that
Yeah.
you would like? And
Yeah, we're on Instagram at HoneyJam Pod. We're also on YouTube. On my personal YouTube, it's it's Janice. And then please,
because your name was
it's Janice. And then on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, you can listen to us just via the sound audio.
Yeah. And mine, if you're into backpacking or food experimentation, David S. Jeong, Jeong.
On what platforms?
Instagram mostly, but on everything. I post all the same stuff.
You guys aren't on the TikTok.
I am, but for some reason, Instagram people like it the most.
Yeah, cool.
So,
All right.
All right, that's it for
That's
this
a
week.
wrap.
Thank you all for listening. See you next week.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.
And cut.
I can do it again.
Okay.
It's even
Embarrassing.
better.
Oh my
It's
God.
even better the second
it's not.
time.
actually, she's used to it. She's
I've
done like
recorded four times one
because of
episode.
technical.
How did you even check?
Because
Or think to
usually
check.
you say record,
Oh.
and then you.
Thank God. Oh
thought
my
you did
gosh.
it.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imagine if we recorded like.
I thought you were looking at my phone because I'm gonna read back your quote.
Okay.
Or what you messaged. How you
Oh.
canceled and
Oh, yeah.
I
let's
saved
go
the
again.
pod 2 times today.
Dude.
Wow.
Wait, the first time
happened the
was
first
your.
time?
Oh, technical. I guess I wouldn't
Yeah.
put that on you.
Yeah.
But June pressed record, but it was bugging out. Okay.
I'm
okay.
literally gonna say the same thing, so you guys have to
Yeah,
pretend like
perfect.
you heard it for the first time.
Oh,
I'm very good at that. No, you're bad at it.
I'll
June's
just-
so awkward the second time.
okay.
So awkward. Okay, ready? How do we start last time?
I think first time.
I'm already so
strangers
bad at
came.
The second time, it's always more natural though.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
think so?
Yeah,
That's
I
Is
think
it?
so. Yeah.
I'm
It's
the
like
only one
rehearsed.
who was more.
June's
We
so
talked
okay.
about
It's
you.
like so awkward.
Okay, we started with the fact that you guys outnumbered.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
That's good.
Yeah.
June. Wait, sorry. There was one thing I wanted to bring up. Whatever. It's okay. We can move on.
I'm curious now what you're thinking.
No, it'll come. We can move on. It'll come at night, and I'm like, damn, I could have sounded like a genius, but June still wouldn't have put in the reels.